Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dara O Briain, and welcome to the London Irish Centre night in ... my house. Here we are. This is my house. We should be in the London Irish Centre doing a fundraiser, but here we are. We are here now for the next couple of hours. It's going to be a little bit rough. It's going to be a little bit ready. But we're here for an evening of song, of music, of chats with friends, of guilting you out of as much money as we possibly can. A little tour of the house. I've tried to make it as Irish as kind of possible without going like heavy-handed with the Irish. So we have a lot of greenery, set the heather blazing and all of that. We have a picture of Shackleton up there. Don't get much more Irish than Shackleton pulling his boat. We have an Irish leopard, well known, the mascot of Meath. We have a Lido sign. I'm sure there's some Lidos for the 40-footers back there, and there's lots of glasses here where we used to entertain people before the apocalypse. So welcome everyone. I hope you're good. Like I said, it's going to be almost like a radio show, to be honest with you. It's like two and a bit hours. Let me tell you a little bit about the London Irish Centre and why I'm involved, and how COVID has kind of decimated our fundraising. The place started in 1954. It's been a hub of the Irish in London, but I always like to describe it as it's both for the Irish and from the Irish, for everyone in London. The two tenets of the place for me are community and culture, and I know more so than since lockdown. From the Irish Centre's been helping the vulnerable, the elderly. It's been doing incredible work in the community. You want the truth? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. I'll give you some stats. 240 hot meals delivered, 1,480 check-in calls, 50 new telephone befriending matches, 200 volunteers for supporting services, and 45,400 people have watched and participated in online cultural events. Thank you. But tonight, we're hoping to raise a bit of money because, like I said, the fundraising, normally I'd host a night maybe once or twice a year. So a couple of years ago, we kicked off sort of big fundraisers with Ed Sheeran. Last year, we did this, and that was a great night. Last year, we did this unbelievable folk night, and we were supposed to have Niall Horan doing an evening with Niall. And then we'll probably do another folk night somewhere later in the year. But obviously, with the Niall thing, we had to cancel it. So tonight, Niall is very, very kindly playing live for us. We're going to be crossing to Niall. Also, Imelda May is playing live for us. The Queen is playing live for us. Imelda May, people. Come on, the woman of the moment as well. That poem just killed me. We have a great auction with the great man, Giles Regan, over there in Dublin. We're going to be chatting to lots of different friends. And we want to find out a little bit, without sort of like going too heavy-handed, we want to find out a little bit and teach you a little bit about what the centre does. And hopefully you can donate for us. Listen, I don't want to go like too much on this, but londonirishcentre.org is how you can donate or bid for the charity auction. Giles will tell you a lot more about this later on. But if you're in the UK, text Irish 10. Glad we got that. Irish 20 or Irish 30. I suppose you can carry going up to whatever number you like, to 70085. There it is in my unintelligible writing. Let's hear a little bit more about the centre now from the CEO, Ellen Ryan.
Hello everyone, I'm Ellen Ryan and I'm the CEO of the London Irish Centre, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you to our wonderful charity night in at the London Irish Centre. I would really like to thank Dermot for being a fantastic ambassador, and to all the artists tonight who are going to give their time freely in aid of our charity fundraiser. I'm sitting here on the steps of the London Irish Centre. Normally at this time of day, the centre would be buzzing with community activities. We'd be planning our cultural activities for the evening, but it's fairly quiet. And of course, that's due to COVID-19. We have been severely impacted by this. We've had to cancel all of our face-to-face contact with clients and all our cultural activities as well, along with a host of fundraising which we had planned and which is so important for us for the delivery of our services. However, I'm really proud of the London Irish Centre and the community around us. We rose to the challenge, and rather than being less busy, we've actually been more busy. Over the last 10 weeks, we have delivered thousands of hot lunches to older people who are sheltering at home. We've delivered library books, food parcels. We expanded our beautiful team of volunteers and doubled our befriending service. And we've enabled services to deliver and grow in response to needs such as our health and wellbeing line and our advice services online. So we have been really busy. We've had great response from the community that we served. The London Irish Centre is an absolute lifeline. It's a home from home. It's a place where people can come and feel accepted, feel part of something that they understand and that they know. So the question I'm asked virtually weekly by our client group is, when can we come back, Ellen? So we're here today, we're planning it. I've got some of my team inside, we're on it, but we need your help to make this place as safe as possible, because we don't expect that things will be the same for quite a while, but we want to deliver services. So tonight, I'm asking you to support us and to stay with us, and also to have a wonderful evening together as a community. This is a time to connect and to be together. Thank you.
There you go. See, poor Ellen, she can't even get into her own office. That's the state we're in, lads. That's what we need to catch. I believe the numbers should be on the screen now, but just to reiterate, donation charity and the charity auction. Charity auction is going to be a thing of beauty. LondonIrish.org, and then UK mobiles only. Text 10 Irish 10 20 30 to 7080. Time for our first little bit of chat. Very early in the evening for her for a little bit of chat. I would assume normally she'd be more of a kind of an 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock girl, but it's always just great to have with us. Angela Scanlon! Scanlon!
I don't know if that's suggesting I'm a woman of the night.
A lady.
A lady.
Of the night. How's it going?
Yeah, all right, actually. How are you?
I'm very good. This is a very surreal. I said to them, we should do a fundraiser. And I just thought it would be me with a laptop, which it kind of is, but it's not my laptop. But there's a lot of screens going on and a lot of people in ears. But we're on air.
You say that to Gary Dunn, and then boom.
Exactly. This is what happens.
Anymore.
Scanners, listen, congratulations on one of the hits of lockdown. Your Homemade Perfect is one of everyone's favorite shows, the BBC Two show. What is it about it, do you think? It's a really lovely show.
It is. It's a home design makeover kind of show, but using virtual reality. And so, basically people who hate their houses come to us. Well, I mean, I'm just, overseeing proceedings, but we've got two really talented architects who then basically tackle these homes and give them two options, and then they pick one and then we build it.
Listen, I know we're friends, but what I love about you in the show is that you just don't have an off button. So you'll walk in at the end and you'll be like, shut up, or oh, I didn't see that. I mean, there's no filter process at all.
No, my filter is broken and has been for quite a while, but also I do have to slightly dial it down, where it's like a bloody what the? I have to kind of go blinking hell, which is something I would never say in real life. And
I love your two architects because is it Laura Jane Clark? She kind of normally would go with a kind of classic kind of, let's do a bit of mahogany here, and then Robert Jameson gets hold of it, and you're like, whoa,
brace yourself. Yeah,
he's punchy, isn't he? I mean, he just essentially knocks down everything he walks into and just rebuilds castles.
Yeah, but I kind of think of him as the way I think of people who create kids' TV. Like, even though this may not be the truth, I imagine they're like on something when you create the Teletubbies, like you were on a pretty punchy night out, So I kind of feel like Robert Jameson approaches his designs with the same level of disregard for conventional.
Yeah, the funny thing, watching them is always like you say everything you have to say that you can say pre-Watershed when you see one of his designs. So you'll sit there and go, oh, that's quite punchy. And actually what we're all saying is, what the, at home.
Exactly. And then I get people who, which is lovely, people who are really protective of him, but like they're both really good pals of mine now. So it's gentle prodding. It's always.
He's a genius. The guy's a genius.
He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he has very kindly offered us one of the raffle prizes. This was today, so
I don't want to give the game away too much, but talk us through.
Okay, no.
Go on, talk us through this prize, and then Jonathan properly hammer it home and sell it.
No, do you know what? We'll leave it to Jarlath. But anyway,
the only thing I said is it's like a 30-minute consultation. You're not going to get an awful lot done. Can we stretch that a little bit? I mean, you know,
stretch away. I think he's open to stretching. He's a yogi after all, so you know he's a pretty chilled fella, so he'll do whatever has to be done.
Also, my love, how's your podcast going? Have you done more since you've been in lockdown, or have you?
Yes. Yeah. We have been doing loads since in lockdown. Interestingly, people are available that weren't for a while. So, you, however, have still turned me down. That's a bit insulting, but it's awkward to air that here. No, it's been brilliant. Actually, I've really, really enjoyed it. And like, it's interesting how I would have always thought that I need to be in the room. It's part of like, you know, what I love is sitting opposite someone reading. I always think those things are massively important, and suddenly, you know, maybe they're not.
Yeah,
and I might just stay here forever. You know, the conversations, it still works, and podcasts have been a nice thing to be able to do while I'm, you know, not doing much.
Oh, it's kept focus and kept sanity, definitely, isn't it?
Yeah, big.
Oh, come on! I didn't know I've been invited. That's so nice.
Yeah, well, maybe somebody, you know, in your crew.
A very honest team, thank you very much. Listen, Ange, before you know, I know we've just been riffing, but in terms of the London Irish Centre, you've been involved now for a long time.
Yeah.
One of the ambassadors. What do you think is so special about it, and why do you think it's so important?
I have got so I've been in London maybe 5, 6, coming up 6 years. But my relationship with the London Irish Centre is so much older than that. But it's more Leeds actually, rather than the London Irish Centre. When I was a kid and we would get on a plane to come to cousins' weddings, we would go to Leeds and we would go to the Irish Centre. And I remember, partly because I was on a plane and out of the country, but I remember feeling like this Irish Centre was just something that there was nothing that I could relate it to at home. It was the place where weddings happened, parties happened, funerals happened, all of which were equally celebratory. And it was just this amazing kind of community with such like life and buzz and humor, and I loved it, and I was quite jealous that we didn't have something like that. And then when I came to London, I was really lonely in London, and obviously, you know, we work in the media and you're surrounded by people all the time and you're supposed to make it look like it's a breeze, but actually London's a really hard city, and I'm in a very privileged position, and I have friends and I have social media and I have a nice job that links me to people. But I realized how difficult London can be for many people, whether they're just, you know, fresh off the boat as I was, or whether they've been here for many, many years. And so I just felt like I wanted to kind of get involved, and to, you know, I thought of it as something that was kind of for older people, but it's really important, I think, for the next generation to feel like this is a touchstone, at the place you can go and when things go wrong, but also a place where you go to celebrate and to to enjoy yourself with people who you love.
A really interesting point there, because I think like there's definitely a debt to that sort of Windrush generation and the post Windrush generation that came over and helped rebuild London after the war, and the support the centre gives them and their families, and talk about a loneliness. I met a guy a couple of weeks ago when I was doing a food drop off, and we just asked him how he was, and he just said, you know, it's the loneliness that eats you up. He said, just don't. So my neighbours are lovely, and I say hello to them, but I don't see anyone. And here's a guy who bought that one-way ticket, you know, 40, 50 years ago, and he's not going back, and that's it. So, you know, and then the plus side, and I don't think they talk about this enough at the centre, they've got this incredible outreach program where, you know, you get kids still off the boat now in their 20s that come in with the shirt on their back and going, I think I might have made a bit of a mistake here. And
what am I doing?
Apparently, you know, there are sort of always more systemic issues at play. And also and then what it does in just the local community in you know, in London and NW1 in Camden. So, you know, it's not exclusively Irish, I would say.
Totally. And I did some drops last week, and I thought the same thing, actually. The idea of being, you know, on your own in a place where, like, loneliness is bad at the best times, but the idea of not being, like, physically not being, I suppose it's like, you know, when you're told you can't do something, suddenly you want to do it. And so I I think the importance of a place that holds you, even if it's in their mind in this moment, or if it's sending food, there's a real significance, and it's even more important than ever for people who are on their own to know that they are being thought of, that they are being considered, that they haven't literally disappeared, which I think must be something when you're sitting looking at four walls with no one to converse with is a really terrifying place to be, you know. So to be able to go, actually, I'd like some scallions, they don't really agree with my stomach, can you pop in a bit of this? And it's like there's an openness to that conversation and a personal dialogue. They know the people who are organizing the food bags. There's a comfort there, you know, that you can't put a price on, I guess.
Listen, before I let you go, that is a great art designed room. That's properly like, I'm going to be on the telly. I need to make sure I've got like a light over there, some nice flowers in the background. Got the S just to forget.
I think you need your eyes tested because the flowers are dying on their arse. The light way too bright. I keep leaning towards the window because I think I look like a ghost. But anyway, I'm glad that, you know, the distraction looks the part.
It's great to see you.
You too, and well done, and thanks for doing this and everything that you do, and for dragging us all in as well.
We're raising some good money for these guys. All right, thanks a lot, Angela. Take care. Bye. So, Angela, one of the ambassadors of the London Irish Centre, another one who's a terrific guy, and you know, you've got to check out his podcast. His podcast, Nourishment Abroad, is honestly, and he did podcasts before every single human being in the world did a podcast. So he actually did a podcast when people didn't really know what podcast was. He's a big supporter of the LSE. He's ran fundraisers for us, hosted fundraisers, record podcasts there, and he is a live action auction doyen. Giles Regan, how are you?
Not too bad, Dermot. How are you doing?
I was saying to you earlier when we did a little test, you look so kind of relaxed. You look Hef-like. You look so kind of relaxed.
Yeah. Well, honestly, this is a break from what you and I are used to at these events, which is me sweating in the sideline, kind of preparing to rinse the room of as much as we can get for these auction items. So this is very chill. Yeah,
Palm Springs good.
Well, this is a totally different kettle of fish in the sense that we're trying to get people to do the same thing, give as much as they can, what they can. But in terms of the prizes for this auction, they're equally as good as any live night that we've had.
All right, listen, I'll hand over to you for a minute. Talk us through them.
Well, I guess like even the bottom of the rung, the starter prize, a year's supply of ice cream and brownies. You can bid on that right now. Go to londonirishDonate.org. And that's for donations. Or to get bidding, you can just click on the Get Bidding box. Then above that, there's the John Hayes acrylic painting of Phil Lynott, something we all need in our homes. There's the signed vinyl by the Blizzards, their latest album. And this is the prize that Angela was talking about, the prize that she donated, where you get this consultation with Angela and the architect that you mentioned, Robert Jameson, from the BBC's Your Homemade Perfect show. And like you say, we're going to get more than 30 minutes in that consultation out of them. I assume they're going to take a look at the worst room in your house and help you through virtual reality fix it. So you can start bidding on that.
Angela alone is going to be more than 30.
You get to have a chat with Angela over Zoom as well. So that's above that, and then just above that is the signed sketch of Niall Horan. Now I know there's a lot of Niall Horan fans tuning in tonight, so I'll get to his major prize later. But there's a personalized video from the cast of Derry Girls, so you can bid on that for whoever the fan of Derry Girls in your life, the crazy fan. You can have the whole cast direct a video for them. And at the top of the list for the auction is a meet and greet with Ed Sheeran himself, which includes a signed Ed Sheeran guitar, which you know from doing these nights. Those Ed Sheeran guitars are gold dust and they go for an insane quantity, an unbelievable top prize in the auction. It's very easy to get bidding. But the development that happened today in terms of all of this, I'm not sure if you know already about this, Dermot, is that Niall Horan donated something for the raffle, because as everybody knows, it's not really a fundraiser unless there's a raffle involved. There is a raffle involved.
Got two legs of ham downstairs that I'm...
Yeah, actually throw them in, because oftentimes the best stuff that gets donated on the night helps out. Niall Horan has offered a meet and greet for the raffle. Now, get donating, because that's the only way to enter the raffle. You get a ticket for the raffle for every £10 that you donate. So the more you donate, the more raffle tickets you get. This isn't just come over, meet Niall, make your way to London. We will fly you there, all expenses paid from wherever you are in the world. The London Irish Centre will make this happen, courtesy of Niall Horan. So that's an unbelievable raffle prize. So get donating. As was said, the numbers are all on the screen. I won't repeat them again, but really simple to get involved. And look, who knows where that evening could end with Niall Horan. It's it's going to be a big one. A meet and greet with Niall Horan, top prize in the raffle tonight.
Theoretically, someone could bid from Japan and then come over and meet Niall.
Theoretically, yeah. I believe he's big there as well.
That's unbelievable.
It's a ridiculous prize, and it's not just if this is like this fundraising and all of this will go on. You can continue donating through to June 14th. And the winner will be announced at the end of the month. So really, the other thing that I'm doing, this is the other thing I have to say, Dermot, is if you want to get a shout out, I'm your guy. So have your comments coming in on Facebook and under the YouTube link, and I will give you a shout out wherever you are in the world, provided you can prove to me that you did donate something tonight. Not everybody can donate. We get that, right? But if you can, please do.
Lovely. Thanks a million.
Talk to you in a bit.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jarvis. I'll see you later on. So listen, I promise you music. We're gonna have two performances now. We're gonna have one performance in just a second from Maverick Sabre. Now, Maverick is one of the great friends of the London Irish Centre. I don't know if anyone watching came to the folk night we did last year, but he was extraordinary. He did a version of Glory and the Old Triangle, and the place just. He brought the house down. It was a really, really special night. Anyway, his last album, When I Wake Up, was one of my albums of 2019. There's a good son of Wexford as well. The Gold Son of Freedom, Go Darken at Ross. And also, we're going to kick off with an Irish Sierra Leonean. What a mighty combo! Loa. I've just been checking this girl out. She is incredible. What a voice. She returned to Ireland after playing Mary Magdalene. God, you couldn't get more Irish, could you? In Andrew Lloyd Webber's iconic Jesus Christ Superstar on the Barbecue 2019. You must check her out on Spotify. So we'll hand over now to Loa and Maverick.
Hi Dermot. Hello everyone. I'm Loa and delighted to be back with the London Irish Centre for London Irish Charity Night In. Thank you all for joining us. I first played the London Irish Centre 2 summers ago now, which is great night. Lisa Hannigan was there that night, Stephen James Smith. We actually had a sing-sam backstage, which is good crack as well. So I'm delighted to be able to contribute a tune this evening. All the proceeds are going to very vulnerable people in London, which is really important in such a challenging time for absolutely everyone. So if you can donate, please do. All the information is on the screen where to do that. So this evening I'm going to play a song called April Brave, which I co-wrote with a producer from Cork called Rory Lynch, aka Bantam. And it's on Spotify and all of that stuff, but I'm going to do a piano version for you guys. So please enjoy it and have a lovely evening in Slán agus Beannacht. April Brave.
April Brave, soft cityscape. I know you're there. I know you're there. Blue line of a red state. I felt you there. I felt you there. such a glorious fire, lighting up my day, lighting up my night. Time like cold loading, it felt so right, it felt so right. Longing for your skin, longing from the skin I'm living in. My surface tension, build and spill me like that DMT. Call it what you will, call it what it is, don't call it. If we stretch the pulse too thin, we might lose the rhythm, yeah. April brave, you hide away. I know where. Sweet sorrow was our child, singing in your arms, singing in your arms, burning such a glorious fire, lighting up my day, lighting up my night. Time like cold loading, it felt so right, it felt so right. Longing for your skin, longing from the skin I'm living in. My surface tension, build and spill me like that DMT. Call it what you will, call it what it is, don't call it. If we stretch the pulse too thin, we might lose the rhythm, yeah. When we love, it's like holy water. We're in the twin flame, bodies just borders. When we love, it's like you're my mirror. See myself so clear when I'm with you. I said today we died at the thought of. Maybe yesterday, I can't be sure. Only closer, the future surrounds us. Only closer now, baby, go harder. When we love, it's like holy water. We're on that twin flame, bodies just borders. When we laugh, it's like you're my mirror. See myself so clear when I'm with you. I said today we died at the thought of. Maybe yesterday, I can't be sure. Only closer, the future surrounds us. Only closer now, baby, go harder. Only closer, the future surrounds us. Only closer now, baby, go harder. Longing for your skin, longing from the skin I'm living in. My surface tension, build and spill me like that DMT. Call it what you will, call it what it is, don't call it. If we stretch the pulse too thin, we might lose the rhythm. Spin me on me like that. Oh, da 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 da. Spin me like that. You just spin me like that, like that, yeah. Like that, yeah. Like that, like that.
What's going on, Dorma? What's going on in the London Irish Centre and everybody tuned in? Hope everyone's good and not going too crazy and keeping sane through lockdown and isolation. I'm excited about this evening. I'm excited to see the rest of the acts play. If it's anything like the last event that I played at, which was at the end of last year, which was a charity event at the London Irish Centre for a redevelopment project. and it was a beautiful night of music, of laughter, of togetherness from a wide range of Irish artists singing old and new, and a range of poetry. And yeah, it was a night that was very special and very close to my heart. So yeah, I'm Maverick Saber. I'm going to do this song. This is a song called Slow Down. Love.
Had a feeling that you'd call me to say sorry instead. You just said it's my mistake. Now you're waging up a war for the sake of something to say, when am I not to blame? And what you got to say about me? I don't know you very well if you're acting like someone else. And what you got to say about us? Don't you see this all leads to games? You should start trusting me. Slow down, won't you come around? Slow down, won't you come around to my way? Slow down, won't you come around? Slow down, won't you come around to my way? Well, I wish I could say sorry, but I don't have much to say. Won't believe me anyway. I've got to think for causing arguments, but in my defense I'm scared you'll walk away. And what you got to say about me? I don't know you very well if you're acting like someone else. And what you got to say about us? Don't you see this all leads to games? You should start trusting me. Slow down, won't you come around? Slow down, won't you come around to my way? Slow down, won't you come around? Slow down, won't you come around to my way? Slow down, won't you come around to my place?
What? Stop it. Maverick. It's gorgeous. Maverick Saber and Lower there. Thank you so much to both of those two. Lovely performances. A couple of questions I've just picked up on the telephone. Am I eligible if I live outside the UK for the Niall Horan raffle prize? The 2 legs of ham he's donated. Yes, you are. Of course you are. The way it's going to work, sorry if I wasn't clear, you can donate at any time to londonirish.org worldwide, and you can go for the raffle there as well. The only things that are UK specific are the text, but we do appreciate those texts. So if you're in the UK, text Irish 10 or Irish 20 or Irish 30 to 70085. Thanking you. All right, let's cross over now to not far at all. To one of my lovely North London friends, Dara O Briain. Hello, Dara. How are you?
I'm very, very well. I'm very, very well. It's a delight to be here. Delight to be supporting this. Delight to be supporting.
That's the important question.
Say that again, sorry?
Are we now dry?
Yeah, we are. Sorry. Yeah, just off camera, I had a spillage moment that you've alluded to there, where something I haven't done in 3 months. I tipped a pint all over my table, and I honestly there was a faint burst of nostalgia followed by sheer panic, because it's like I'm just at a desk in my office here. What electronics have I totally zapped? And so I have been grabbing towels and mopping it up, and there's just this nice end of night pub smell from my from where I'm sitting here.
Oh.
Yeah, which might be suitable for a night where we're sitting out listening to music or whatever. But but no, because I got to come back into this room, and like I'm the level to which I'm worried that the Magners has basically soaked into the desk, as it has into my life. So that would be a fitting tribute to how it did. But yeah, man, properly, I'm at a practice. I picked up a pint glass, and it went whoosh everywhere. And it is exciting for a scientist like me to see how much area the volume of drink can cover when it's urgently displaced.
So how's lockdown been for you?
It's been fun. It's been great. It's only beginning as well for comedians. That's the thing. That's the thing we don't try not to talk among ourselves, because theatres will be the last thing back. So I think that's a slightly worrying thing. So look, I'm delighted that shops and offices will all be going back. But like, I did this weird kind of limbo situation because I had a tour in Canada. A big hello to any Canadians who are watching here. That was literally, I was in the airport in New York flying to Toronto to do a tour in Canada when the call came through on like the 13th of March or whatever it was. Nope, you got to go home now. And crossed to a different airport and got the first flight back. And then which was significant for two things. One, I have there's this floating tour of all sold out, 10 dates across Canada, which is just hovering in a weird kind of it'll happen or won't happen. The tickets are all who knows when it'll happen. And then the other weird thing was, even as I did, I arrived at a British Airways desk and said, "Oh my God, I've got to get home now." With the kind of, geez, I better crank up the urgency of this. I got to get home now. And she was then, "Of course." And then she probably said, "Okay, we put you on this flight, but you better go now. The flight's in 45 minutes." And I went, No, I'll take one in a couple of hours, because you've got 4 or 5 of them. Like, I wanted to do some duty free, and suddenly I know I played up that, and she said, "No, you got to go now." And it's like, but I need to get souvenirs with the kids. No, none of that's happening. You're really eager to go, so you're going now. Get onto the plane. And I arrived onto the plane at a point where everyone is really frantic about fever and people being really. I had to run to the airport and arrive onto a plane sweating and hot and looking like every isolatable case you've ever seen of somebody. And I'm going, "Oh my God, do I have COVID? Or have I just had to run unnecessarily to JFK Airport?" So everything's in limbo. If you're a live performer, you're in limbo. And yeah, so it's nice to just talk to somebody. It really is. Over the age of 12. It's really nice.
And I was going to say, how's homeschool been?
Hey, do you want me to go to long division with you? I'll do that, because people say, "Dara, you're big into science, so clearly you must be the greatest. You must make those children enthusiastic." No, they recoil from me teaching it. Because I have zero time for mistakes. It turns out, and I'm a terrible home teacher. What's been the one thing teaching wise where you thought, "Hey, I forgot how to do that, and I'm relearning it"? Oh, they do a lot of grammar these days, that adverbial clauses and just adverbials. And there was this bit of pick the adverbials out of the sentence. And I'm with an 8-year-old who's going, "I'm finding this difficult." I'm going, "Well, it's difficult." I'm like Googling with my other arm going, "What's an adverbial?" So they do lots of that stuff. Like, there's been lots of unnecessary stuff. And then the stuff appears on the syllabus for the day that the teacher will go, "Today we're going to do the fashion industry, and we'll do design and stuff like that. That'll be an interesting project." And I'm looking at my 8-year-old son who just wants to get onto the Switch and play Fortnite, and going, "Yeah, we're going to bail on that one." I think that one, for what I'd love to give him the full spectrum of all your entire education, I'm not fighting the battle over that. So good night.
I see you about 3-4 times a year, and it's invariably always at the London Irish Centre or at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Let's cover Arsenal first. You're looking forward to next week, firstly, and as an interjection, I just want to say thank you very much to Arsenal, because they got in touch today and they're donating some money via the Arsenal Foundation for tonight. So it's deeply appreciated.
Fantastic.
So thank you to the Arsenal.
I'm delighted to hear that. I mean, when we both done those kind of charity auctions for Arsenal, and they're actually generally very good, and they do lots of stuff. I am looking forward. I'm looking forward to a resumption of some sort. So it'll be weird, obviously, and strange. And you worry, has any cord been snipped slightly? Because I've gone from a total immersion in it and it being really important, and there are 10 games to go. We did a quiz with the group. We sit around. We do one of these quizzes. We get together on Sunday, and every other round was, who are the 3 players who both played in the 71 and the 79? This kind of like quiz of super nerdy fans. And it came to my round, and my round was, where are we in the table right now? and totally killed the room. And I went, question 2, who was the last team we played in an actual match? Like, no one could remember this. Who was the last team we played?
I don't know.
West Ham, we beat them 1-0. But I had to look that up. And we're currently 9th. It was the whole thing. It's like we're 9th at the moment, but we're like, we have a game in hand, but it's against City. Look, now I know it because I do it for the quiz, but it was the bizarre thing. These people are avidly fans, but the cord got cut. And now we're not doing it on a minute-to-minute basis. So, yeah.
And in terms of the London Irish Centre, what does that place mean to you? How have you seen how important it is?
Look, it's weird because I'm probably closer linked to the one which is near me. I now live in West London, so I have do also with the one in Hammersmith. So I was involved in campaigning for them, like whatever. Look, the weird thing about Irish over here in London is it's not a community that sort of feels a necessity as often to be together in the way that you would if you're. I mean, when I was doing gigs in America and stuff, I ended up with the Irish community in whatever town it was, in Washington or New York, whatever, because it was a big. Any of those events are a big bonding thing for the community, and they do have those ties. There is you can sell tickets by finding the guy with the central email list and going, oh, whether would you tell everyone I'm in town, and then they'll all come along. In London doesn't have that, UK in large parts of it doesn't have that, but there's tons of us here, but it doesn't because we can be home in an hour. So it's interesting, those things that they are there that perform that role. But it's very different to. I think it's the strangest of all the Irish communities abroad. The one in the UK, for various reasons, for good and bad reasons.
Yeah, and also it's interesting, isn't it? That's kind of the world I grew up in, being second generation. Is I would live my day to day, like certainly primary school. Secondary school is a bit different because it was a Catholic school, so there's far more commonality, I guess, with a lot of other second generation Irish kids. But I would sort of go out and live a normal UK. Nice suburban upbringing, and then I'd go home and the door would be shut, and it would be, Irish music and pictures of Pope and letters to back home. And so it was an interesting way to be brought up. But and I grew up in Colchester, and even in a small town like that, there was a very sizable Irish community there. And like you said, it is because it's so close and you can get home so quickly. And yet there's a generation that came here with a one-way ticket and they've never gone back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think it's very easy to forget that generation. It's very easy to forget that generation. And because we know it very differently. We know it as a thing which is almost like a choice to come over here. From my generation, first generation, was like, well, London is just a place to be for X, Y, or Z. Let's go to London. And then know that we could return, and people would do flip forward and back between the two, to remember that there was that generation. And also in all the current discussions about race and all that, like whatever, that they are our reference point for empathy with minorities, with black or BAME, whatever. That sign, that famous blacks no dogs no Irish, that's that generation, like whatever. And a sign that we reference maybe very easily, a generation who never had to face that. So we're in a kind of an interesting position as Irish abroad, that we know what it was like to have that kind of just discrimination, but we personally, probably a generation later, have a very, very incredibly different experience.
Absolutely, yeah, we grew up in the shadow of it without really experiencing it.
Yeah, but actually, and then for generally becoming over, none, because then we had people who basically had broken down that barrier, and then and then we became not as unusual or diverse people, and so we've had we can tap into that as a reference point, but also we've had the privilege of it not being a thing that we've had to live with. Absolutely. So I think we're in an interesting position in that, like whatever. It's a good reminder of the humility we should have, and also our a prod for empathy.
Yeah, 100%. Dara,
can I say one quick thing, by the way? My most fun thing to do over the lockdown is that there were a series of burglaries on my road. Here's the thing: I'm going to work this into a whole other story just so you get a snap of it. And at one stage, the police got in touch and said, "Listen, we think somebody just jumped from garden to garden. We know you've got CCTV. Could you just have a look at this particular Monday night at between 2 and 4 in the morning? And you can call it up on the computer, the camera, right?" And I called it up, and it was like watching Paranormal, that film Paranormal Activity? Yeah, that in your garden. So for 2 hours, I watched blanked out dark footage of my own patio furniture. And then right at the end, at exactly the point, the most scary, where I'm going, this is just weird, I hope this ends soon. A bloke walks into the shot and has a look in the back, but can't do anything, and then walks away again, like whatever. And that was the most emotionally charged event.
The game.
I don't know, because he never came into us. He just came in, and if he walked in like that, like whatever. So they're not stupid, like whatever. But instead, I've been out with a telescope for the last few nights, and it's been great. Except every so often, a family of foxes will knock over a bin, and I just go, Jesus. So I've been like some weird sentinel over the town.
If you had to tell us about what are we looking out for? What's
currently it's all cloud. Currently it's an absolute disaster for cloud. It's grand. If the cloud clears, I don't even know what the moon is doing now, because I think it's waning rather at the moment. But in the mornings from about midnight, 12:30 on, Jupiter appears, Saturn appears, and Mars appear. And they're still, I think, in a line. And Jupiter and Saturn are really close together, so you can actually get them in one shot. So that's at 1:00, 1:30 in the morning. It's not the clearest thing because it's quite low in the sky. But that's the best thing. But listen, it was beautiful. There hasn't been. I went on the telly 3 times telling people to go stargazing on the one show, and then clouds have rolled in for 9 days in a row now, and I feel guilty. And I posted that today, and people got in touch and said, "Yeah, thanks, I bought." And they named the Celestron 127X, and I literally haven't seen anything in the sky. So it was probably a poor choice of hobby.
Thanks a million, Dara. It's great talking to you as always.
An absolute delight. Good luck with the rest of the event.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Good night, live.
See you. Bye, buddy. So London Irish donate.org. LondonIrishDonate.org, not LondonIrish.org. Sorry, is that my fault? It is. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm patron of this place. God, LondonIrishDonate.org. It's down there. Is it down there? Is it underneath me? LondonIrishDonate.org. Worldwide. That's how you want to donate worldwide. Funny that. Listen, tonight's all about the beautiful souls you are helping, of course, where your donations are going to. We're going to meet some of them throughout the night. And see how your help is needed and why it's needed. So let's take a look at the first one.
Things have changed quite a bit because I'm always the one to help people. And I had a bad accident on 27th of March. I broke my arm and I broke my nose. And I've been at the other end now having help. And the centre has been absolutely fantastic. The help they've given me between food, lunches, they come bring me every day, so I need anything. And I feel very humble because I've never had to accept help before. I'm just very independent. I'm on my own, and the help I get from there is fantastic. Everyone you talk about that gets the help, they can't believe how good the Irish Centre is to people. And everyone gets help, no matter who you are. I mean, I can tell you a quick little story. I had one old man before all this lockdown, and Irish men seem very independent. They seem reluctant to ask for help. And he came in, and I was out in the garden, and he asked me where welfare was, and I was talking. And I said, don't tell me your problems, I'll take you inside, I don't want to know. And he said, I have a lot of problems, missus. I said, well, and I took him inside and brought him in. And I was still outside, and he came out about an hour or so later, and he came up, he said, thanks so much, missus. He said, I'll now sleep tonight. I said, good. He said, they've taken a weight off my shoulders. What his problems were, I don't know, none of my business. But that's the sort of support people can get. At least they're down and they go in there and they know they're going to be helped, whoever they are, and that's the important thing.
There is some very lonely Irish people in London. Very lonely Irish people.
They're there to help you and to do as much as they can for you.
The outside is very good to me, to help me a lot, yeah. And someone rings me every day. Actually, she rang me a short while ago, but I couldn't answer the phone. She rang me every day, and we have a chat for about half an hour.
I do think it's very important for people to support this cause, because it means so much to the elderly Irish over in London. And I think they should do. And Ireland, come on, each county should send something over too. Cavan, come on, you send something over as well.
Yeah, I'd love to thank them all for what they've done, for the bravery of them and stuff through this COVID-19, which is not. They're on the front line, aren't they? So, thanks to all the staff there and all the team that's been giving out these meals.
To give you a little insight as to who one of the people was in the film there, her name's Maeve, and she's like the Mount Rushmore of the Irish Centre. She has been there like from day one, baby. And it's incredible when she said, normally I'm there looking after people, and right now, because I've had a fall, they're the ones looking after me. So donate, please, if you can. Listen, when we started organising this event, our friends over the water in Ireland wanted to get involved with some cracking performances. So we're going to cross over now to them and our friend Owen McDermott. Good evening, Owen. How are you? And what have you got in store for us?
Hi Dermot, how you doing? Greetings from Dublin's fair city. GE, Verfado, Carballo, Clea. I feel like I'm doing the scores for Eurovision. It's very exciting. Hey, the first thing I wanted to say is, Dermot, hat tip to you for everything you do for the London Irish Centre, because you've been a champion for them as long as I've known it's existed. So you're always there when they need you. So props. Secondly, our next musical performance is from Lisa Hannigan. Lisa's incredible. She actually teamed up with Loa, who we saw about 15 minutes ago before Maverick Say were there, for Women's Aid recently, and they raised between the two of them over €10,000. So I don't know which I love more about Lisa, her massive heart or her incredible vocal talent. She's revered either way. She was nominated for your Mercury Prize, our equivalent, the Choice Music Prize. She should have won both. That's an injustice we'll tackle another day. But she is as loved as a person as she is revered as an artist. I've never heard anyone say anything but amazing things about her. So prepare maybe for a little bit of introspection and a little bit of melancholy in the best possible way. This is Lisa Hannigan with Prayer for the Dying. Enjoy.
Hello to everyone in the London Irish Centre, everyone watching at home. My name is Lisa Hannigan and I'm here in sunny Dublin. Thank you so much for having me as part of the London Irish Charity Night In with all these amazing people. What a great night. The last time I was in the centre was the Ed Sheeran fundraiser, which was so much crack. I met so many brilliant people. If you're in a position tonight to donate, please do. All the information is below. The song that I'm going to sing is called Prayer for the Dying. Which is a song about loss and grief, but hope, but also hope, mostly hope. Okay, thank you. The edges away.
From Lisa, great stuff. What a voice. Love Lisa Hannigan. And more from Owen later on, but now we cross to see the man himself, man of the hour, Mr. Niall Horan. How are you, buddy?
Hello, Dermot.
Oh, mate, good to see you.
You're a beautiful man. You do unbelievable work for this centre.
We were supposed to have a date in March, weren't we? It was going to be such a great night, and I know you'll do it again. I know we'll have it again, but I was really looking forward to it.
No, it was going to be huge. Like you yourself and Gary got in touch. You kind of put it all together, like you have been doing for a long time. Yourself and Gary gave me a shout and asked what I do at night, and of course, I mean, I am full-blown Irish. I've lived in London for 10 years. I see the work that the centre's been doing for a long time and wanted to get involved. So it's a shame that we couldn't get the night done, but there's a lot of shameful things. A lot of things we wish we could have got done, but we'll get it done again. We'll have a bit of a laugh.
And thank you, Niall, because you've come on board and you've absolutely embraced this place. And I know you're talking about becoming an ambassador and a patron, and that would really mean the world to us, because you're so proud of your roots, but you're a progressive guy. You always look forward, and it's just to have you on board is a really big thing. So how's lockdown been for you? I mean, I keep in touch with you and I see you online and stuff. I mean, you're still working. I mean, you've got the most extraordinary work ethic I've ever seen in a human being. Anyway.
Yes, it has been said. It's been all right. We spoke to each other on the radio a few weeks ago. It's been. I mean, there's only so much you can do from home, and I wish I could get out and do a bit more promotion of my album and get about a bit, but I had to do it in a different way, like everyone else has done, and kind of. I think you got past the idea of being bored after about 3 or 4 weeks, and then realized that this is actually, okay, this is it for a while now. And we're going to have to find ways of doing it like we're doing here. And I've just kind of embraced that and enjoyed it. I've obviously been writing loads because I was meant to be touring right now. So I've been doing loads of writing, nothing of note. but I've been doing loads of writing.
How does that manifest itself? You're there at the end of the day going, that wasn't very good. I was get rid of it.
5 weeks in, nothing. I know there's been bits and pieces here and there, but I am looking forward to getting back in a studio with people and doing it that way, because it's a bit more natural.
I bet you're really missing playing live as well, touring.
Yeah, I would have been literally on tour right now. I think I would have been on a bit of a break for a couple of weeks, but I would have been just finished touring in the States with Lewis Capaldi. And then I would have been going on and touring the rest of the world from there. But we've all had stuff cancelled, so I don't feel too bad.
Well, listen, bud, thanks a million for doing this. I don't want to sound too schmaltzy, but I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of you come on board and helped. And it's great to see you. We've known each other for a long time now, and it's just great to see you, blossom into this incredible man you are. And thanks so much the auction prize is going to be great. I mean, it's so good of you. They are. So just to get this straight, so anyone can bid for it.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to fly them over, and then they get to meet you.
Yeah, I mean, no matter where you're from in the world, get in touch, donate. Gary was saying that it's been racking up some money in the last half hour since the show started. So let's get a bit more there, and then wherever. I don't know when it is, what it is, but it could be a gig, it could be our night that we're
salad
doing. But at some point, yes, we will fly whoever wins to come over in good Irish raffle style, and we will pluck a ticket out, and you can come meet me.
Ta-da! So that's LondonIrishDonate.org. That's how you do it, people. LondonIrishDonate.org. Niall, you're gonna do a tune for us, aren't you?
I will indeed. What
are you gonna play?
I'll play This Town because it reminds me of home, and it's about home and all that.
All right, buddy, over to you. Thanks a million.
Waking up to kiss you and nobody's there. The smell of your perfume still stuck in the air. It's hard. Yesterday I thought I saw your shadow running round. It's funny how things never change in this old town. So far stars. And I wanna tell you everything, words I never got to see the first time around. And I remember everything when we were the children playing in this fairground. Wish I was there with you now. If the whole world was watching, still dance for you. Drive highways and byways, be there with you. Over and over, the only truth. Everything comes back to I saw that you moved on with someone new. In the pub there we met, he's got his arms around you. It's so high, so high. And I wanna tell you everything, words I never got to see the first time around. And I remember everything when we were the children playing this fairground. Wish I was there with you now. 'Cause if the whole world was watching, I'd still dance for you. Drive highways and byways, be there with you. Over and over, the only truth. Everything comes back to you. You still make me nervous when you walk in the room. Them butterflies, they come alive when I'm next to you. Over and over, the only truth. Everything comes back to you. And I know that it's wrong, that I can't move on, but there's something with you. 'Cause if the whole world was watching, I'd still dance for you. Drive highways and byways, be there with you. Over and over, the only truth. Everything comes back to you. You still make me nervous when you walk in the room. The butterflies, they come alive when I'm next to you. Over and over, the only truth. Everything comes back to you. Everything comes back to you.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh man, that was so beautiful.
Thank you very much. Now I've got me going. I want to play a few Celtic tunes.
Yeah, I know, you're always like that, aren't you? Me and I looked at my wife and I was like, we should put this on our like when we go into Labour playlist.
It'd be an honor to be part of these birth playlists.
A little Pip is coming out to it.
Lovely.
Thanks a million, Niall. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you soon.
Take care. God bless, mate. Thanks a lot. Oh,
lovely.
Gareth, hey, how was that? Gareth, that was wonderful, wasn't it?
That was amazing. That was
So
good.
beautiful.
So good. Oh my God. And the perfect tune for tonight. Like just all about home and just so great. But obviously our comments have blown up since Niall did that. And massive thanks to Niall for doing it, because like that is what these nights are built on. It's just that generosity of spirit and the connection that we all share. People are getting in touch. Phil and Patsy and Mill Hill loving it. Liz and Max. I donated. It's not too much, but as a student, I can't donate a huge amount of money. Lisa Brandner, like, I mean, the fact that people are doing that is kind of the spirit of the Irish that have built this centre, is that if everybody did what Lisa Brandner did, there'd be no problem here. We could continue and we wouldn't need to do a night. So just give what you can if you can. Massive thanks and well done to everybody for taking part tonight. I should tell you, Dermot, the the numbers are flying. Like I didn't say at the start because I guess I wanted to kick-start things, but already there's been £40,000 raised from the generosity of the people watching this. So if you are thinking about donating, let's try and break that mark tonight. So obviously the Ed Sheeran guitar, the top bid at the moment is £4,950 from Stephen Keane. I mean, that's still a bargain for a meet and greet with Ed Sheeran and the signed guitar. So Stephen King could make off with that. Personalized video from Derry Girls, that's only £1,200 at the moment, which is still a really good bid, but that's still, these things are still available. The Niall Horan, while we still have people that are here for Niall Horan specifically, the Niall Horan sketch by Shane Gillan is only £500 in the auction right now. It's very easy to get to the auction. LondonIrishDonate.org, and then click on the third box that says get bidding. But everything is still up there. A year's supply of ice cream and brownies. I don't know, Dermot, have you been struggling to avoid the ice cream and brownies during lockdown?
I mean, I haven't particularly swerved it. No.
I mean, it has to be said, like, we are looking at some crazy, like Niall's let the hair go, right? You let Dee have a go at the sides, right?
Yeah.
Mine is out of control. Like, this thing has its own bedroom at this point. I do want to give one more quick shout out just so that people know how the raffle works. If you donate,
yeah, this is. Can I say I'm really sorry because I'm still a little bit hazy on this because it happened so last minute. So over to you now because I keep saying I think I'm explaining it wrong. So how does it work?
No, not at all. I mean, it is quite simple in that every donation you make of £10 gets you a ticket for the raffle for this free trip to London from wherever you are in the world to meet and greet and spend some time with Niall, and we'll figure out the details of exactly what that night is. But for every tenner you get into the donation bag, as we said, it's for people in the UK, it's text. The text is available, but for people in Ireland, it's open to you. Just go online, LondonIrishDonate.org is the way to do it. So £10 gets you a ticket for this raffle. And it wouldn't be a fundraiser, Dermot, if we didn't have a raffle. And I tell you, it's quite the raffle. You said you had 2 legs of ham there. I always think that the best thing that happens on these nights, Dermot, is the voluntary, the thrown in prizes. So I don't know if you have anything in the house that you can throw in.
There's always, what I love about these nights when you do them, London Irish Centre or wherever, there's always some guy who's always half cut who comes up to you like, towards the end of the night and goes, "Oi, come over here. I got three Nissan Skylines at the parking lot at the back, 40 miles on the clock each of them. You can give them, chuck them in now." And you're like, "No, I'm doing the auction now." what or like, "I've got a Skyliner at Glastonbury, all expensive," and you're like, "Well, have you though?" Like,
yes, remember that happened? The guy with the Winnebago, that I was on stage at the London Irish Centre doing this very auction in person, and a fellow walks up and goes, "I've got a Winnebago at Glastonbury. You can have it for the raffle." It's like there's plenty of opportunities to donate these things, but I guess that's the beautiful spontaneity of the giving that comes along with this. So people keep doing that, follow that urge to give a little bit, whatever you can. It's easy to do it.
So listen, because I can't really read my own writing, so my poor wife's had to write this down for me. So every donation of £10 is 1 ticket in the raffle to meet Niall Horan. He flies you wherever you are in the world. So you can do, if you're in the UK, you text Irish to text Irish 10 to 78885. Around the world, you can still do it. You can still enter that raffle. That's just a LondonIrishDonate.org, right?
That's right. It's that simple.
Okay, great stuff. Thanks a lot, buddy. We'll see you later on.
No worries. Check in later on.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. 40,000 is a huge amount of money to raise. It'd be so good if we can maybe do 100 tonight. I know that would keep the centre going. I know. Well, I was there a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking me through the food parcels they're delivering to the elderly and the vulnerable at the moment. And I said, "Oh, how does it work?" And they said, "Well, to be honest with you, some days we get everything." Because I just thought that they had money and they went out and with the donations, they go out and buy the food and bring it in. And they said, no, it's we literally get the food. So some days we have, bags and bags to send out. Other days we have nothing. So the more money we can raise tonight, the more we can keep that going and just plug that gap before we can get back in the centre and start sweating the place and really starting to make some money out of some great nights that secure the future of the place, and the refurb we want to do to make it fit for purpose. Because I tell you, its heart is fit for purpose, but the foundations, they're shaken, and we need to reinforce them. And secondly, just help the elderly and the vulnerable and anyone in the Irish community or anyone in North London that needs to lean on the London Irish Centre. And like I do try and stress, it's there for all. We're going to find out a little bit more about the place now. The Wellbeing Services Manager, Ruth Mellican, is just going to teach us and tell us a little bit about the work.
Hi, I'm Ruth. I manage the Wellbeing Service at the London Irish Centre. Like many people and organisations, we've had to adapt quickly in recent weeks in order to support our older and vulnerable clients. As they haven't been able to come to us, we've been going to them and delivering hot meals, food parcels, library books, CDs and DVDs, as well as delivering a telephone befriending service and a health advice line. We plan to continue to deliver these services for as long as is needed, but are also very much aware of the impact that social isolation is having on people's mental health. We're therefore keen to very gradually and as safely and carefully as possible reintroduce face-to-face activities and bring people together once again. All of our services rely heavily on the support of our amazing volunteers and donors. I therefore urge you to support the Irish Centre in whatever capacity you can, and I'm so grateful for any support you can offer. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Ruth. So Ruth just gives us a little idea as to just one of the jobs that goes on at the London Irish Centre and the work that they do there. It's time for some more music now. We have two performances back to back. First up is from the Irish Lion himself, Damien Dempsey, and the second from a poet, Feli Speaks. Feli Speaks is a Dublin-based poet, performer. She's born in Nigeria, raised in Longford, and I'm sure you'll agree it's never a more important time to hear from the different cultures and people that make up modern Ireland. So Damien Dempsey and then Feli Speaks. Over to you.
Hello, Mr. O'Leary. This is Mr. Dempsey here in Dublin, and it's great to be able to show some gra for our sisters and brothers in the Big Smoke. I'm a long-time supporter of the London Irish Centre. And we were meant to do the St. Patrick's Day Festival in Trafalgar Square just in March. But alas, didn't happen. But when we get back on that stage again, get ready, because we're going to have Nelson doing a jig on top of his pedestal. But anybody listening, if you can, only if you can, maybe you can throw a few bob towards the less fortunate Irish in the big city. I'll do a song called You're Not On Your Own tonight. Walking through the city was as lonely as could be. I wander in the night time, out in search of company. Feel real isolation when all around me life familiar but unfriendly, unfriendly with no choice. And I can see the evil, I can feel the good, shining out to greet me from within bone and blood. I'm throwing out this loneliness, I can't stick it anymore. Only need myself tonight to open up that door. And I know that sometimes it gets so bad, but you're not on your own, so don't be sad. 'Cause if you feel it bad, you're not on your own tonight. Please don't be so sad, you're not on your own tonight. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. know the feeling. Everybody seem to think it's they who bear the pain, they who bear the biggest cross, the loneliness and the shame. Day to day you suffer when you're living in your past. If you started living for the now, you can free yourself at last. If you started living for the now for yourself and those around, experience and celebrate the freedom that you found. You go free yourself forever and live life as you should. The choice is yours to take now, cause I've said under the code. But I know that sometimes it gets so bad, but you're not on your own, so don't be sad. Cause if you feel it bad, you're not on your own tonight. Please don't be so sad, you're not on your own tonight. Well, if you feel it bad, then you're not on your own tonight. Please don't be so sad, cause you're not on your own tonight. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I know the feeling, but don't have to tell me nothing. But you know I know the feeling. You're not on your own tonight. You're not on your own tonight. You're not on your own tonight. You're not on your own tonight.
Hey there, my name is Felicia. I go by the stage name Feli Speaks. Thanks again, Dermot. This is my first time on the London Irish platform, and I'm really excited to be part of the London Irish Charity Night In. My piece today is called A Sigh, and I wrote it about homelessness, and it is going to feature hopefully in a work in progress script that I'm working on with We Are Briain. So here goes. A sigh, a pity before a penny, a pity before a pretty penny, 1,000 pities pass per day for the piss poor man with a pan in his hand, for a loaf, for a slice when he feels like it, for the whims of a free man, for the chews of a fed man, for the clamor of a coin against the copper cup, the flip and curve he caves to at a command. Still, a stomach hallowed by naught but hate to swallow, brewing contempt instead at the back of his throat, caught in the theatrics of thanks. I curse you, and you and your dart away eyes, tucking me under your eyelids like your community shade, your collective shame. Damn you to the center of this wretched earth and bear its liquid hot consequences. Your leather shoes climb over my outline to form lines, gritting my teeth in the lukewarmth of my sleeping bag, the slight wet of my bedsheet, watching you mock us both by the tighter clutch of your belongings. I've seen your grimace, your face fall when the drink was all that could catch me, when life left me legless, hopeless, hopelessly requesting, nothing digesting, continuously professing the city's sins of neglect. Easy to forget We were once baptized like the rest. Before we broke our bodies across O'Connell Street. Desperate to be reborn. We went underwater too. We were once beloved too.
Great stuff. Felly speaks there, not with a sigh. And before that, Damien Dempsey, with Not On Your Own Tonight. Thank you to both of them very, very much. More poetry and performances to come later on as well. But first, speak to a, well, you know, as much a London Irisher as anyone else. And, well, a child of Wicklow. No stranger to the 40-foot, no doubt, as well. Laura Whitmore. You right, Laura, you're a bit chilly.
I'm all right, I got the jacket on. Actually, I've got this on, I thought, because the London Irish Centre. I've got my chicken fillet roll appreciation t-shirt on. Because I think I introduced you to what a chicken fillet roll was.
Presumably, you own the rights to that t-shirt. I mean,
it's a thing.
It's become your thing.
It is. There is a large group of people in Ireland who'll say it's their thing, but I brought it over to London.
No. You're that's like pretty much owning the rights to the Tato over here.
Yeah.
Or Lions or Barry's. Now you know, it's a patented. It should be renamed the Whitmore.
I did bring it to the London Irish Centre last year and a Cayley, and unfortunately I won't be able to bring it back this summer, but it will come again.
I didn't understand it when Gary, who we worked with the London Irish Centre, and Laura's doing a night. I went, oh, that's great. What's she doing? He's doing a chicken fillet night. I was like,
oh, that traditional Irish dish, you know that, the chicken on fillet roll, yeah.
She does this chicken fillet thing. So, and people come, it'd be a night, and then you get a chicken fillet sandwich, and I was like, I don't understand. There's a pub in Stockwell, Irish pub called the Swan. I'm sure we've all been to from back in the day.
Yeah.
And they used to, I don't know if they still do it, but they would have the dumb waiter would open halfway through the night, and it would just be plates of kind of Richmond sausages or Denny sausage, like Irish sausages.
Yeah.
Chips. And it would be halfway through the night, and you'd be so thirsty and hungry. It'd be an absolute godsend.
Inhale it. You just literally inhale it. You wouldn't even chew. Straight in. They have I was like, how have we managed to talk so much about chicken fillet rolls and food before we talk about anything else? I was just going to say there's a 24-hour place I miss, because we don't have that over here. We can get chicken fillet rolls at 4 a.m. after a night out. They're the things I miss about Ireland.
Where?
It's called the Golden Spar. It's the fanciest deli you'll ever go to.
Is it amazing?
Yeah. I mean, it's not. You have to have a few drinks on you, and it's amazing.
Of course. So listen, how are you doing? How's life?
I'm okay. I'm good. The dog is there. You see the dog, Mick? He's there behind me. He literally follows me everywhere because I'm in the house all the time. He just follows me from room to room. It's nice being home. It's lovely. But it's such a weird time. It's been such a weird year, and it's lovely doing this tonight because I feel like we're having a proper session. I've missed this, and even just watching Damien there perform, and I miss live gigs. I miss it.
Very much, yeah. And also it's a funny thing about the dog thing as well, because we've got our cats here, and you have that thing where when this is all over and we start going back to work, they're going to be like, what do you mean you're leaving? Because I'm enjoying our time together. Cats are a little bit more like, well, I'll see you in 6 hours.
Yeah, they're a bit more independent.
We could be a bit more.
Yeah, Mick has become very needy. I left the house for an hour, and he normally just falls asleep when I'm away, but this is probably a bit too much information. But the other day I was on the loo and the door pushed open and the dog jumped on my lap. I was like, can I not at least have this time to myself?
I have the same thing. Our cat comes in and just gets in my pants, and I'm like, please don't. You do not want to be in there. So listen, you do loads of stuff at the London Irish Centre. Why do you love it so much?
I love it because when I first moved to London about 12 years ago, I was working with MTV. I won a competition, so Camden was the area I knew, and I ended up renting a room in a house share in Camden because it was near the MTV studios. And the first time I went to the because I remember, because Amy Winehouse used to live on the same road, and the first time I ever went to the London Irish Centre was for practical reasons. I needed something signed. I think I'd lost my passport, or I had to get a document, and I'm almost annoyed at myself. I lived in that area for a few years before I realised there was this whole other cultural side to it as well. And it was actually you who invited me to Ed's gig when that was on, and I was like, what? Wait, this isn't just a place to get documents signed? And it was lovely because I love London and it gave me opportunities, and it's given me so much, but I missed home, and I missed when you get on the bus in London and thank the bus driver when you get off the bus. Like, they look at you like you got three heads, and there's that community feel that you have in Ireland that I just wasn't getting here. And I think the community that the London Irish Centre has created, and I mean, I'm probably never going to go back home to Ireland, realistically. Don't tell my mother. She's probably watching this. But it's just nice to kind of have that bit of home that, you can teach your children how to speak Irish, and you can have a Kaylee, you can teach them what a chicken fillet roll is. So it's lovely. And I think everything that everyone's doing, that you're doing there, and Gary, and just kind of evolving the centre to meet with the needs of the new generations as well as the older generations, this is great. And that's what's nice about it.
And it's really interesting you say that. Someone would look at you and go, "Well, young professional, she knows what she's doing," and yet it still fulfills a need for it spans generations. It still fulfills a need for you as much as it does someone who is elderly, vulnerable, who needs the help, which is what we're raising money for tonight.
Yeah, it's community, and it's it's about giving back to community. But I have a selfishness; I need it as well. I love it, and it's just great to have that connection with all the generations and hear the stories of. I've got a lot of. My mom is the youngest of 13, and all her older brother and sisters all came over to England, London, particularly North London, Kilburn areas, Camden area, years ago, and they never came home. And even just listening to the older generations of their stories of not coming home because they found love, or not coming home because they couldn't afford it, and just seeing what the centre has done for people since it opened its doors. It's great.
Yeah, it's lovely talking to you. Keep on keeping on.
You too. I'm loving tonight.
Thank you. Hey, Laura, I'm not asking you to do this. I'll just do this really quickly. Please donate, londonirish.donate.org. And like we've touched upon with the great prize that Niall's offering. The minute you donate, or you buy a ticket in the raffle to £10, you've got a chance of meeting Niall. So if you buy one ticket for 10, you get one ticket. If you 100, you get 10 tickets. One lucky winner and a friend flown anywhere in the world. One lucky winner and a friend. Wow! Anywhere in the world for a private meet. I was about to say private jet. I don't want to
if you say it, he has to do it. If you say it.
Private meet and greet.
That's just as good.
A lovely commercial airline, but when we can do
when
that,
they're working again,
that'll be a thing. Thanks a million, Laura.
Cheers, Sláinte.
Take care. God bless. Text Irish to Irish 10 70085 to donate £10. Text Irish 20 for 20 and a maximum £30. And to donate, London Irish donate.
Do I leave room?
You can mute yourself if you want. A couple of messages now. First, from a great supporter of the London Irish Centre, took over from the great Dan Mulhall in 2017. Has been a brilliant supporter for us, the Irish ambassador Adrian O'Neill, and the Camden Council have been brilliant with us as well. Always supported us in everything we've done. Georgia and Jonathan there. So a couple of messages from Adrian O'Neill and Jonathan Simpson.
Good evening, everybody, and greetings from the Irish Embassy in Grosvenor Place. I'm delighted to participate in this evening's event and to support the wonderful work of the London Irish Centre. These last few months have been difficult ones. We've been all living under a cloud here in Great Britain. But there have been some silver linings to that cloud, and one of them has been the fantastic and rapid mobilisation of Irish community organisations all across Britain to support vulnerable and elderly Irish citizens. And the London Irish Centre in Camden has given exemplary leadership in that respect, finding new ways of providing its vital services, whether that's befriending elderly people in their home, providing hot meals, or also providing cultural services on digital platforms. So I want to say a big thank you to the staff, the board and the volunteers of the London Irish Centre for stepping up to that challenge. And I also want to thank Dermot O'Leary and his fellow broadcasters and artists for the time and talent that they make available to the centre, not just this evening, but over a sustained period. I hope you all enjoy the evening, that the ceol and the crack is mighty, and I send my best wishes. Slán agus Bacchus.
Good evening, Dermot. It's great to be here at the London Irish Centre Charities Big Night In, and to send the warmest regards from the London Borough of Camden. The London Irish Centre is a gem of a community centre in our borough, serving the Irish community for the whole of London, but we're especially proud it's in Camden. We see the great work it does on culture and heritage and celebrating the Irish community and all it's done to contribute to our great city. But I also see the wonderful work they do in the local community, and at the moment during the COVID crisis, they really have stepped up their game and gone above and beyond to help people. I'm really proud that they're here, and I really do wish that everybody who's watching can dig deep and support the charity so they can continue their great work many decades into the future. Thanks. The charity so they can continue their great work many decades into the future. Thanks.
Hey, thank you to Jonathan and to Adrian there. Okay, listen. Keep your donations coming in if you can. You can see them on the bottom of the screen right now. But let's cross back to Dublin for some more music with Owen.
Dermot, thank you so very much. A couple of things. You can address this later in your own time. I had a text from my cousin who's wondering. They say their favourite fashion era of yours was the turtleneck era, and maybe if you were amenable to a costume change. Look, you can address that in your own time a bit later. Secondly, for our next musical performance, this guy is a legend for 3 reasons. 1, his omnipresent summer hit July, which is going to hit the radio in a couple of weeks' time. 2, obviously his iconic take on Steve Earle's Galway Girl. But 3, I got to give this a shout out. Mundi was the best thing on Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet soundtrack, which is itself one of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time. And he was the coolest thing on it. So there you go. Performing Dark Long Enough. Please welcome Mundi.
Hey folks, my name is Mundi from Ireland. Welcome to London Irish Charity Night In. Please donate if you can. This is for all the vulnerable people living over in the London area. And I'm going to sing a song called Dark Long Enough. I wrote this as a poem at the end of summer a couple of years ago, and I put some music to it. I mentioned a lyric, I say hook, as in Huckleberry Finn. I say hook, and it's not what you might think otherwise, okay? Just to let you know, because this is kiddie friendly, right? Come young-hearted people, and a list how I'm feeling. I'm sick from the news, I'm sick from the killing. There's a stretch in the evening, it's magical stuff. Make friends with the light, it will be dark long enough. Bourbon biscuit bogs, yeah, bark and burn brack. Winter turf tokens, they're hard on the back. Mountain fleece blowing on heather like fluff. Come into the light, it will be dark long enough. Oh, dark long enough, it's a penance too long. Dark long enough, it's a lonesome old song. Dark long enough, it's the only excuse. Dark long enough is the only truce. So get on your bike or get on a wave. This clear aperture, it's savior and knave. Stand on a rock, yeah, and call for a show. Baptize yourself, it will be dark long enough. At the back of the chip shop, there's empty oil drums. At the back of the hardware shop, pallets and so. Constructing a raft with Tom Sawyer love. Hook me pink, it will be dark long enough. Oh, dark long enough, it's a penance too long. Dark long enough, it's a lonesome old song. Dark long enough, it's the only excuse. Dark long enough is the only truce.
She said, "Are you asking?" Then she called me a cold sheet. Then she took into laughing. We're settled down now with the Billy Goat's gruff. We make love every day, we'll be dark long enough. Now we're running from the pool, and it's teeming down rain. Togs over the towel, tearing down the back lane. Chipping in for 10 major, well, it's looking real tough. Gather round the last match, and we'll be dark long enough. Whoa, dark long enough, it's a penance too long. Dark long enough, it's a lonesome old song. Dark long enough, it's the only excuse. Dark long enough is the only truce. Dark long enough is the only truce. Dark long enough is the only truce. Thanks very much. Please donate if you can, and stay safe. All right, this will be over soon, I hope. God bless.
Thank you to Mundi. Thanks a million. That's great stuff. Owen, if you're watching, there you are, buddy. I hope they donate though, because it is hot. Let me tell you in here. Jonathan. While we're at it as well, my friend Chris just texted in saying, "Hey, Mundi, yes." His daughter just said, "Dad is like Bob Dylan," cuddling up Audrey next to him, which is wonderful.
Beautiful.
Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm good, man, and all the better for seeing you in the old turtleneck.
Getting a little bit dehydrated now.
What I'm amazed is at how quickly you managed to find it. Don't pretend that you aren't sticking that on every now and then.
In the locker upstairs.
Listen, I wanted to tell you really quick about one particular message that came in on Twitter here. Emma Louise. So me and Nate have decided to donate some of our wedding fund to the London Irish Centre, since any wedding planning this year won't be happening. I mean, that's other level stuff right there.
Yeah, sure.
Emma Louise.
I want them to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but like that's just.
Thank you.
She says bonuses, Niall Horan meet and greet, which would be amazing. The auction's flying, Dermot. It's absolutely flying. The guitar, the Ed Sheeran meet and greet with the guitar, $6,000. We're up to there. If you want to have a shot at that, it's easy. LondonIrishDonate.org, and then click on the Get Bidding box. And then overall, we've hit 50,000. 50,000 for the night. Please keep bidding and keep your donations coming in, as you've explained so well each and every time, Dermot, with zero confusion, that if people donate, they get, for every tenner, they get one ticket to the raffle for the unbelievable Niall Horan meet and greet opportunity. But like, look, this is all great, isn't it? All this meeting up, all this chatting, but really this is what this is about. If you have a tenner to give, do it. Just do it easily through text on the UK or via LondonIrishDonate.org. It's very simple. Did you? I feel like you're not happy with me in that comment where I said that you weren't very clear on that. Are we still friends?
I thought, God, I should have really used it. I feel terrible. Mel just said the Rolex and the plants look great. She's donated for her late mum Betty, who was a great London. So big love to Betty, looking down on us. Thanks a million, Jarlath. Great stuff.
Yeah, no worries.
Just to put into context what Jarlath was just talking about. Oh, by the way, do please share on YouTube and Facebook as well, and any kind of social, whether it's your Twitter or your Instagram. Just put the message out there. That'd be great. And keep your donations coming in. Text Irish 10 70085 to donate £10, and then Irish 20 for 20, etc., etc. And LondonIrishDonate.org. Let's see how high we can get this up tonight. Be great to hit 100. We'll be over the moon with that. So thank you all for your donations, and do please keep them coming in. Let's take a look at some of the how people are using the London Irish Centre in light of the current COVID crisis.
Can't go for meals, can't go to the pub, can't go to this place I used to go.
It limits me. because my son hasn't been fit to come down to see me.
My sister would come down at the weekends. Now that has all stopped. So I go from this flat to that Shoreditch Park over there. But I miss most of all the Irish Centre.
The staff are wonderful. I think they put it this way, they couldn't do any more.
The centre, the centre is lovely, and the people there are lovely. You know, I got on with them. They're a great lot there.
I got to know it by meeting an Irish woman in Marks and Spencer's one day. And I said, you're so boring now when you're old, I said, and you're on your own, and you've got nowhere to go. So she said, why don't you come up to the Irish Centre in Camden Town?
Home from home, I'd be absolutely lost without it. It's my lifeline. As I say, I'm a widow, and my family are living out of London, one Hertfordshire and Kent, and I don't know what I'd do without the Irish Centre.
I get 3 hot meals a week, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and a parcel so that you can survive the weekend.
And I have a girl that befriends me, so she rings me every day, and she is marvellous. And we do have some laughs, you know, and to me, that's great. That is perfect. Because even though I left there 59 years ago, I'm still very Irish.
If you can support the centre, please do. I'm the first, if I won lottery tomorrow, most of it will go to the Irish Centre. That's how much I'm involved and how much I know the work they do and how much they need your help. If you can afford it, please give somebody to the centre.
Oh, lovely stuff. There's Maeve again. Thanks to Maeve. Listen, I smell a BAFTA for dinner. Let's get BAFTA time, people. Come on. Siobhán McSweeney, lovely to see you.
Hello. Oh my God, that's where my Polonaic's gone.
Yeah, well, listen, it's Ferrara McDermott's cousins. That was a bit mothy, if I'm honest with you. But,
listen, it looks good. It looks good. And if you've got some milk tray there, I'll gladly take it off you. I'm doing very, very well. Listen, this has been a bloody disaster. Can you see me? I have about 50 lights here. Nothing, when we did the rehearsal, imagine this is rehearsed, but when we did the rehearsal, I was perfectly lit. And now I look as if I'm like, I'm now live from a cave.
No, I like it. It's kind of jazz club vibes.
And yeah, you don't want to hear me sing. But maybe you do.
Maybe. Do we?
No.
No, okay, fine. Listen, congratulations on Derry Girls and congratulations on the BAFTA Nod.
Thank you.
You're up for. It's one of those, I guess, one of those double-edged swords that it's the award ceremony isn't really happening this year.
I know it's virtual or whatever. We were there last year. Do you know what? We got spoiled last year because we went to every single award ceremony you can imagine, and it got like. But even though I'm a naturally glamorous person, as you can tell, Polonaik or no Polonaik, by the end of it, you're a bit like, oh, I'm glad it's virtual. I can sort of, I mean, since lockdown, I haven't worn anything other than my pajama bottoms for 12 weeks now. So virtual BAFTAs suit me very well.
Just fine. How long have you lived over here now?
I have been in the UK and primarily London on and off for 20 years, which is more shocking to me than I can possibly imagine. Yeah. And I was thinking about what Dara was saying earlier about Dara O Briain, about the differences between like my generation and the older generation, and like I can nip back home. Like this is the longest I haven't been back in Cork in many, many years. 3 months, actually, it's probably since about Christmas I haven't been back. I was back all the time before this. So it was never, the idea of moving to London for 20 years is mad because I never moved to London for 20 years. I only went over to London and then I went back to Cork and then I went over to London, kind of thing. Completely different experience.
I never forget when I first got involved with the centre and I was in the reception, the lobby, and one of the elderly users of the centre went past and said hello, and then I was chatting to Gary Dunn, and he said, you know, it's funny because that was it. We're having a chat with her, and she said to me, when were you last home? And I said, oh, I went to see Mum and Dad maybe a couple of months ago. And then Gary said, oh, I'm going back tonight because I go between the two. He lives in Dublin. And she went, oh, Oh, and there was this moment where she really contemplated it, and so I reciprocated and said, "When did you last time?" She said, "Oh, it's God, probably a good 40 years now." And then she left. Gary said, "That's the thing. For me and you, it's a Ryanair flight. But for her, it was a one-way ticket." And and that's the kind of, that just kind of puts into context and highlights what the place does, because we all have a great time.
Completely.
And culturally, it's obviously so important. But only doing the food drops over the last couple of weeks, where you meet people and see the vulnerability and the isolation and the loneliness that's compounded by COVID. They're lonely anyway. So the centre is such a lifeline for them, and then when that's not open, the loneliness and the vulnerability probably eats them up.
That's right. But alongside that loneliness and vulnerability, you're talking about like a huge culture of its own as well. Like the London Irish tribe is a very specific tribe. So like, even though I'm back and forth on the Ryanair flight or whatever, you arrive in London and you have your history in Ireland, but you arrive in London and you aren't new. You're not new here. Like I understand completely the loneliness and isolation. If I think about it too much, even now I'll start crying. I'll have to turn off all the trillion lights I've around here. But what you do have when you step in here, and it's epitomized by the centre, is that you are walking in to a new history, a history that by virtue of your geography, you've just inherited. Yeah. Like, so I'm from Cork, grew up in Cork, family from Cork. I arrive in here, I'm London Irish, and I have a whole new history to digest, a whole new group of elders to listen to and learn from, a whole new bunch of songs, new accents, new foods, new way of figuring out different architectures and stuff. It's absolutely fascinating. And the idea that like our elders might be, well, they are vulnerable. And that's why I'm so delighted to be here tonight, even though I am rambling in the dark.
And listen, congratulations on Derry Girls, because it's such a wonderful series, because in and Lisa's done such a great job writing it. It's in many ways, it's so specific to a certain time and a certain place. Pre-ceasefire Derry, it would be, you'd see the pitch for that and you go, well, it's quite niche. And yet there's a universality to it it's just like so many people can relate to it in certain ways. It's about growing up, and it's about a certain time in the 90s as well.
Yeah. And I was talking about this the other day. I think the more specific you are with something, the more universal an experience is. And also, I think that there's something to do with self-esteem as well, that thinking that the story of being a schoolgirl, being a young woman in Northern Ireland, being Irish, being Catholic, being from the 90s, that's not a story worth telling. And actually the way it's resonated with people all over the world is the most beautiful gift ever. And thank God for Lisa, that's what I say.
Yeah. Siobhán, thank you. It's lovely talking.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Lots of love. Bye-bye, Slán.
Let's cross over to Aisling Bea Towers right now. Hello.
Oh ho ho! Chunasátú there, Dermot O'Leary. I didn't realise there was a theme for this evening, a 1970s sex party theme. But there you are. I mean, look at that lamp.
Leopard print will suit us just fine.
Exactly. I'm at your cheetah lamp over there. Isn't it mad that like you're suddenly, because I've become real, this is the room I do everything in, because I'm like, if I'm judged by just this room alone. Isn't it mad with all the Zooms now? You're sort of just kind of questioning what do I have in the background?
Oh yeah, we had a couple of very early Zoom disasters, which is why now
this is your Zoom area.
Glasses.
Can I show you something very Irish? Actually, I do have in the background, which is the most Irish thing, and normally people wouldn't get it, but this was given to me by my mother when I moved in, and it's this will be the test on whether you're really Irish, Dermot. It is a Bosco tea towel.
Oh, Bosco tea towel.
Do you know who Bosco is?
Is that my test as to whether I'm Irish or not?
I mean, probably not really. I don't think. God only knows what they'll ask at the border now. But Bosco was a very beloved childhood. He was basically like a sock with a tennis ball on it, and people were like, "I love this guy," and children were really obsessed with him. And he was just sort of like, "Hello, darling girls," and he was just a very big favourite of Irish people, and I've got a tea towel to commemorate him. You know, you look like you're looking at your notes and not interested in Bosco at all, Dermot.
I get the Bosco thing now. I'm thinking, what am I going to talk to her about next? Because
what's a segue?
I'm out on Bosco. Thank you for all the stuff you do for the centre. You do a lot of fundraising for us, and you do. Congratulations on the BAFTA nom as well. And
thanks. Are you lining up your BAFTA? When you started talking about the BAFTA earlier on, I was like, oh, Dermot's run that one dry now, because I've got nominated for a BAFTA as well.
There's a lot more BAFTA chat to come.
Oh, really?
Well done on it. You must be thrilled.
It is. It's weird. You were talking to Siobhán earlier on about connection, and like I've always been so amazed by the stuff that the centre does, and for loneliness. And I think if there's one thing the pandemic is teaching us all, it's how that lack of connection leaves you with that weird feeling. It was odd because last week was sort of a big week for world events as well, and the BAFTA kind of nomination came in the middle of it, and I was just sort of in my house. And normally, if something like your dreams come true in any sort of way like that, you go out with your friends, you hug each other, you hold each other's hands, you look into people's eyes and go, oh my God, it happened, cool. And then you might go to the pub or whatever. And it was just sort of nothing. So it sits in the same place as this Zoom, it sits in the places. And even after this, I'll turn off my computer, and then there's an element of quietness, like turning off a TV. And as much as FaceTimes and everything help, there are no, for our biology, they're only a plaster over holding people's hands, real connection, looking into someone's eyes, having a real chat. And those are the things that I think have become really a magnifying glass been put over the lack of those things during the pandemic. And it's definitely made me more aware of how we do need to be having, like, we need centres or places where people can physically go to connect, because it's not the same as just a hello through a window or FaceTimes. It's just it's like getting loads of vitamins so you're well but never getting to eat a dinner. That's what it feels like.
I love it when you're like this.
Well, I'm like this 24/7, man.
Normally you're normally drunk dancing in the corner, and then you just take the piss out of me for
I was about to say Dermot, but then I was like, wait, no, I'm trying to think of a time I saw Dermot where that wasn't the situation. I was like, excuse me, I was not in the corner. I was in the middle of the dance floor.
Wonderful stuff. Listen, thanks a million for coming. Really appreciate it.
Is that all there is? Oh God, yeah. I put on makeup for this, Dermot.
Go over.
You're lucky I didn't put on trousers. That's all I can say.
Also, I want to finish on a high, because I know you're just going to turn around and start beating up on me.
On a high, what would we end up on a high? Should I sing the national anthem or something like that?
Yeah, if you could, I'd take that right now.
I can do it in both languages. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Or actually, here's another thing. I actually just wrote this into a script recently. Myself and my sister used to do a speed Our Father. So yeah. I mean, I can do it in Irish, but I'll just to test you. Why don't we both do it in English on the count of 3? Are you ready?
What's the deal? Is it who does it quicker?
Yeah. You forget to start at the end of it. Are you ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil men. You went at the end. You did not win that one. You just stopped talking. That doesn't mean you won.
Stop talking.
You did. You just went, and forgive us our trespasses.
As we forgive those trespass against us. You didn't do thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory, did you?
No, because I'm not English.
Exactly. It's not
Let's hope we're a scandal by the morning, Dermot.
You win by
Yay. What a weird thing to win.
London Irish. Thanks, Aisling.
Love you, Dermot. Bye.
And congratulations on the BAFTA numbers. Lovely stuff. LondonIrishDonate.org. Keep donating, please. Thank you very much. Every donation of £10 gets you 1 ticket in the raffle to meet Niall Horan. £100 gets you 10 tickets. It's that simple. 1 lucky winner and a friend flown from anywhere in the world to London for a private meet and greet. And just donate just for the fun of donating too. Would you? Let's find out more about the work that the London Irish Centre does now, and take a look at some more of their families. Advice and Services Manager.
Hiya, from my home to yours. My name is Gemma, and I am the Advice and Outreach Manager here at the London Irish Centre. We provide advice predominantly in areas such as welfare benefits, housing, repatriation, ID documents, passports, all that kind of thing. And I just think, like, what makes us special and different is just that feeling of welcome you get. I mean, I remember the first time I came into the centre, and I just got such a strong feeling of being home, and it still sticks with me today. And it's actually something that clients always say to me. They say, I feel like this is a home away from home. You know, I feel safe here, I feel listened to, I feel valued, and I feel like I'm not being judged. And I think especially for an advice service, this is really important, because people are coming to us when they're at their lowest. You know, they could be losing their jobs, they could be losing their house, they might not know how they're going to feed their kids. So it really is important to kind of have that atmosphere where they feel secure. And I've worked with some amazing clients over the years, but one woman particularly stands out to me. I was called down to reception, and this lady was denied benefits and found fit for work, even though she had severe COPD, which is a breathing disease. And I came downstairs and she just saw me and started bawling, crying, and she gave me a massive hug. And obviously I was like, you know, is everything okay? And she said, Gemma, my appeal has been allowed. You know, I'm back on my benefits. I don't have to work. And for her, it was such a relief. And it was only when I was speaking to her that she said to me that she didn't know what else she was going to do if we hadn't been there to help. Her mental health had seriously deteriorated as a result of all of this and the worry. And she said, you know, we were the first people that she felt listened to her, and our support meant the world. So this kind of, you know, a story like this it's not unusual. Like, this is our everyday work. And in order to continue that, we do need your support. So any little bit you can give makes all the difference. You know, there's so many other people out there that need our support, and being able to keep this work going would be amazing. So any little bit you can give would make a massive difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Gemma. It's great to see from someone that's there every day of the week, pre-lockdown, what the centre can actually do and what it does on a day-to-day basis. Gemma Kingston, who's Advice and Services Manager. Just got a text from Gary, who's like the Wizard of Oz of tonight. If everyone viewing right now donated £10, we'd raise $250,000. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the state would be in if we get $250,000? Unbelievable. So just anything you can donate, please. It's on the bottom of the screen right now. Do keep them coming in. Me and Leppy the Leopard would be over the moon. Spotty the Leopard, probably shouldn't call him Leppy. Leppy the Leopard and Ernest Shackleton dragging his boat would be over the moon if you donated tonight. And thanks so much for all your support, all your continued support for the London Irish Centre. You wanted a roll neck, Owen. You got yourself a roll. You can't handle a roll neck.
And hey, Dara, I'll tell you what, right? So you shouldn't be superficial as a general rule in life. But my cousin, who asked that you wear the polo neck but never suspected you would actually do it, you are being reduced down to a sentient piece of meat on this here phone. It's disgusting. You're being objectified to the nth degree, but you look great. So musically, next up, we have a cover of Raglan Road. Now, Raglan Road is, look, it's going to be on everybody's list of the all-time great Irish songs. It's been covered by everybody from Sinead O'Connor to Mark Knopfler to Ed Sheeran recently when he was in Croke Park, did a rendition. So we needed somebody very special to tackle it. And that somebody very special arrives in the shape of Jack L. He's a singer, he's a songwriter, he's a raconteur, and he has the most spectacularly groomed and shaped facial hair you've ever seen in your life. It's really impressive. And after that, we're going to hear from Lorraine Marr with a spoken word piece called Nettles. Now, this is about the lack of representation of the mixed race Irish experience. And I suppose the George Floyd protests in America have kicked off all these conversations in Ireland recently, and the UK too, of course, about race, racism, inclusion, exclusion, and Lorraine's piece speaks to that. So this is two real treats. We'll kick it off with Jack L.
Hi everybody, Jack Lukeman here. Hope you're all well. Delighted to support the London Irish Centre. Please give generously. A wonderful place. I've had many's the great night in. So I'll sing an old song for you and them, and hopefully you won't hear the cat snoring over here in the corner. I'll sing this old Paddy Kavanagh classic for you. On Raglan Road of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rule. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November, we tripped lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen true worth of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts, and I not making hay, for I love too much, and by such and such is happiness thrown away. I gave her gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to artists who have known true gods of sound and stone, and word and tint without a stint. I gave her poems to say, with her own name there and her own dark hair, like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where all ghosts meet, I see her walking now. Away from me so hardly, my reason must allow that I have loved not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel woos the clay, he'll lose his wings at the dawn. Thanks everybody. Please donate.
How you doing, Dermot? Hello to everyone at home, particularly my family and friends in Carrick-on-Suir and County Tipperary, because I know you'll be looking in this evening. I'm really excited and honoured to be here with such big names this evening, to be able to give back to the London Irish Centre, a centre that gives to so many. If you've just tuned in, make sure to tell your friends and tell your friend to tell a friend to log in and support the London Irish Charity Night In. a really worthy cause. For over 60 years, the London Irish Centre has been supporting the Irish community here in London. If you're in Ireland and have visited London, if you're anywhere across the globe and you're from the Irish community and you've come to London, you'll know the centre because it's right at the heart of the Irish community here in London. In 2016, I wanted to really challenge perceptions of what it looked like and what it sounds like to be part of the Irish community. Those doors were flung open for us to bring complete representation to the walls of the London Irish Centre in a beautiful photographic exhibition, #IamIrish. Since then, I've been back to the centre many times to deliver work and talk shops, workshops. The centre has given and lent its support, not just to me, but to many artists from the Irish community. It's a place for homegrown talent as well as nurturing talent from across the Irish diaspora. I'm asking you tonight to dig deep. You're being entertained by the best of the Irish creative world here in the UK. Dig deep. Support a centre that wants to continue to support the most vulnerable of our community. Tonight, the piece I want to share with you feels really poignant in light of Black Lives Matters. This piece is, I suppose, a piece that's come from a collection of my work over the last few years and speaks to what's been felt by the mixed race and Afro-Irish community that have experienced racism. I saw the look. It was no mistake. You hated yourself for wanting me. You didn't want the disgrace, so you taunted me with your wickedness to put me in my place. Did you want to see me tears fall, or the bruises on my heart? Do you remember all you called me? Sticks and stones may break me bones, but names will never hurt. The greatest lie that I was told. I felt every pinch like falling in a nettle bed. I stand tall. Having left my body now, I'm floating as though on clouds, dropping and bouncing. The air is no longer my friend. I'm gasping, but there's no breath. This very lifeline that surrounds all living things is failing me. My stomach feels like a block of wood, hard, unable to absorb. My throat now feels like it's caught, spun in the eye of a tornado. But I'm still floating. Outstretched, lifeless, dropping. My skin drinks as though I'm falling into a garden of nettles. I feel my skin blushing as the heat of the sting embraces me. Every inch of my flesh tells me I'm in a foreign land. But I know I'm home. And you know I'm home. I'm falling deeper. Completely absorbed, stinging and swollen, and still I hold my breath, unable to let go, unable to protect myself from the dangers that surround me. I see the crowds through swollen eyes as though we're in parallel worlds. None recognize these cuts, this pain. No outstretched hands to break my fall. I'm alone. Oh, this is clear, I'm alone. I sink deeper. Every hair follicle affected. I feel the burning. It's through my skin now, working its ways across the junctions of my veins. I'm on fire. And still my breath is held. No voice. I tried to make a cry for relief, but there's no sound. I'm surrounded by silence ricocheting as though I'm caught in a bubble of steel. The inferno that surrounds me now feels like I will combust. I'll turn to dust. Is this the only way to be free? like a phoenix, I'll rise. I'll not be beaten by the bigots and their lies. The uneducated few, just like you. Just like you. On a personal note, I'd really like to thank the London Irish Centre for all their support and for ensuring full representation of the Irish community here at home in London. It's a little bit of home here in London. So good night to you all. I hope you all dig deep. Give all the support you can to the centre. The centre needs you. Ensure that it's a place that can continue to support the most vulnerable amongst us. Good night. Bye, Dermot.
Thank you, Lorraine, and to Jack there. I love the Raglan Road too. Wonderful stuff. Jarlath, how are we, my friend?
I'm not bad. I'm still a little bit of shock that you don't know who Bosco is. I mean, that has to come up. Maybe somebody will donate a Bosco box set for you to catch up on what you've missed there. You know, Dermot, the donations are flying in. We're up at 56k right now, so we're fast approaching our target. But we need, as we said, if everybody donate, everyone watching donated a tenner, as Gary said, we'd be past 250,000. So if you have it, do it. The auction's crazy because some of the things that are gaining massive bids, it seems odd to me that a year's supply of ice cream and brownies is up at £2,100 is the top bid for that. And yet the signed sketch of Niall Horan by Shane Gillan is only at 500 quid right now. I mean, I'm telling you, the brownies are going to be worth less in the future. And also the question about the year's supply.
They're going to be around in a year's time.
Exactly. Yeah. And the question about the year's supply of brownies that I have, is that a lockdown year's supply or is that a regular year's supply? Because Lord knows we've gone through a few more. The $6,000 is where we're at with the Ed Sheeran guitar and the meet and greet. $6,000 is still a bargain for that. Because I say, like, even if you're not going to resell that, this isn't really about resell. This is about giving what you can to this thing that changes lives in London. And if you have read any of the comments underneath Facebook feed or the YouTube feed, look, Dermot, they break your heart. Sheila O'Sullivan, such a great cause. The London Irish Centre has been a major part of my dad's life in recent years. Knowing he has had lunch 3 times a week has been so important. I'm a key worker, so I have to keep my distance. And he really misses his lunch times there. I mean, these services aren't there at the moment. And in order to move and to change, that's why we need this money. So if you have it, I say give it. It's really easy to do it all. The numbers are below. Keep the comments coming in and enter the Niall Horan raffle. By donating a tenner, you get a ticket for yourself.
Great. Thanks a lot, Jarlath. Great stuff.
No worries, man.
Hey, let's speak to a very gifted actor. It's lovely to speak to Robert Sheehan now. Hello, Robert.
Oh, do you go it, Dermot? How are you keeping?
How's it going?
Oh, very good. It's lovely to speak to you. I feel a little bit hot under the collar.
I felt quite jealous because you came on the rehearsal thing and then you sort of knew everyone else and we'd never met. And you have that thing where I go, well, I'll just shut up for a minute.
Oh, don't worry. You know, you always throw yourself into the mix. You absolutely will be made fun of. It's best just to accept it.
Oh, yeah. How's life with you on lockdown?
Grand. I feel, you know, ever so slightly ill-equipped. People have been coming on and plying their wares very, very beautifully. I tuned in and heard Mundi, and I heard Jack L singing songs, and I was like, perhaps I'll perform a speech.
No, it's just nice to have a chat. I said that to Gary today. So should we tell people, or should we ask them to do some poetry or some such? But it's just nice to touch base, really.
Oh, as we're chatting. So I've been doing a bit of writing myself, and I was very inspired not too long ago by Mr. Kafka from the Kingdom of Bohemia. 407. Where was this? There's a tiny little short story called The Trees. Here we go. I was just shouting this at somebody earlier this afternoon. for we are like tree trunks in the snow. In appearance they lie sleekly, and a little push should be enough to set them rolling. No, it can't be done, for they are firmly wedded to the ground. But see, even that is only appearance. There you go. There's the end.
Oh, I was settling in.
Exactly. Franz got you nice and comfortable, and then he
didn't he? And then he just pulled the rug away from me. Robert, have you spent much time in the London Irish Centre yourself? Have you been down there yet?
You know what? When I was 25, I moved in up the other end of Camden Square, up the way when you'd walk towards Caledonian Road or Angel. So I'd go past it every single day, but I didn't really have any kind of direct relationship with it. You know, I've had some friends who've gone down and got good legal advice. Do you know what I mean? I've got mates who are London-born Irish. Do you know what I mean? And I've gone down, got great legal advice and stuff. And I was checking through the bullet points there, and it's been open since 54.
Oh yeah,
1954. That's you know, for something as, you know, as deeply tragic, but as passing as this thing, it isn't worth losing, is it? Really, after all that time.
It'd be great to have you come down after this and do a Kafka night for us.
A Kafka night. Perhaps I'll wear tights.
It's lovely talking to you.
You too, Dermot. Let's flirt in person in the future.
I'd like that. Take care.
See you. All the best. Ciao. Donate.
Listen, from one man who knows his poetry, and prose and verse, to another, to the waters and the wilds, with the fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Richard Corrigan, are you there? Oh, is he there? Is he there? Richard, is he there?
Richard's frozen.
I have to explain at the moment. All I can see is Rick. And you can now see is Richard's frozen face looking down, judging me for my terrible rendition of The Stolen Child. We'll come back to Richard very, very soon. Before we'll trust now to to some of the advice and outreach workers at London Irish Centre. This is Marcella, Caroline and Neve explaining the job that they do.
Hello, my name is Marcella and I'm an advice and outreach officer at the centre. I have always been proud of my Irish roots, so I was over the moon when I was offered the job. When I first walked through the centre doors 15 years ago, I received such a warm welcome. I felt so comfortable and just like being at home. An experience that I am lucky enough to this day to enjoy every single working day. It is a pleasure and an honour to work for such a wonderful organisation with such a dedicated team of staff. I love my job. I love that no 2 days are ever the same. Over the years, I have seen amazing clients and have heard so many life stories and experiences. I couldn't begin to share them with you. But some have been happy and positive. Sadly, not everyone's is. So we all strive to do our best to try and help in what way we can. And sometimes the smallest of changes can have the biggest impact on somebody's life. And that's why I feel our services matter. In these particularly difficult times, they are even more vital. So if someone is to eventually walk through a door or picks up the phone or sends an email or chats online, we hope that with your help and your generosity that we can continue to offer these vital services for many years to come. Thank you. Take care.
Hi there, I'm Caroline and I've been working for the London Irish Centre now for 3 years. I'm passionate about working for the organisation because it links me to my Irish heritage, and I had a spell of living in Dublin and I miss working with the communities there. My role in the organisation is befriending coordinator. Since COVID-19, we have changed all the face-to-face befriending relationships to telephone befriending, and we have also expanded the service to reach more clients at this time. The clients are thrilled with their phone calls and it really does make a difference to their day. We've got a team of really dedicated volunteers and it's all going really, really well. To ensure that the service continues, we really do need to have your donations. So if you could please donate any small amount, you could really make someone's day. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Niamh and I'm one of the telephone befrienders with the London Irish Centre. I work here in London full-time as a nurse and I've been here about 9 months now, but found it extremely difficult initially moving country from Ireland to London and missed my Irish links at home. And so I reached out to the London Irish Centre to see if there was anything I could do to give back to the community here in London, where I was matched up with Mary, my telephone companion, and I get on so well with her. We ring each other once or twice a week talking about Irish music, food, old stories from the past, her family, my job, anything and anything really. She even gets me to sing down the phone from time to time, and I just have to say, like, as a young person being matched up with an elderly person, you can make just such gorgeous friendships, and it's really helped with my homesickness here. And I just love the idea of giving back, and the centre is this amazing cause that does amazing things for the elderly here in London that I'm super proud to be a part of.
Thank you to Marcella, to Caroline and to Niamh, doing great work for us there, the advice and outreach and befriending service there that the London Irish Centre has. Sadly, we lost Richard. Richard is in Wexford. Just to give you a bit of background, Richard Corrigan, the great chef and friend of the London Irish Centre, is in Wexford at the moment. He's only around the corner from my mum and dad. Now, in my experience with any Zoom scenario of my mum and dad over the last 2 to 3 months has been anything, that it's that there's a desk somewhere in the house upstairs that has about a 40% chance of getting through to me. Other than that, forget it. So Richard probably has exactly the same Wi-Fi as my mum and dad down there in Wexford. But just to give you a little, just to fill you in very briefly about the work Richard's doing. He owns Bentleys and Daffodil Mulligans and Corrigan's in Mayfair. About 3 or 4 times a week, I think he does homeless breakfasts there. And obviously the catering industry has been decimated, and we're here to raise money for the London Irish Centre. But he does the Bentleys. His restaurant has a great thing, which I wasn't really going to talk to him about because I didn't want to put him on the spot. But you can buy a voucher there. It's one of the great fish restaurants in London. Started in 1916, and Richard's taken it and it really has kept a great authenticity to it. So you can buy vouchers there that you can redeem later on when the restaurant reopens. And Richard's a lovely man, and he's a great man of verse, Richard. So where dips the rocky highland, a sloth within the lake, there lies a leafy island where the flapping herons wake the drowsy water rats. There we hid our fairy vats, full of berries and the reddest stolen cherries. That's for you, Rich. We cross back to Dublin. Hello, Owen.
Hello, Dermot. Welcome. It is terrible that we lost Richard, but just to lift the curtain for a little peek behind the curtain for anybody watching, there's all these panic conversations going on between all the links going, Dermot, we're 38 minutes over. You've got to stop talking. So maybe it's the universe trying to sort us out. Our next performance is, well, he's kind of ethereal, glamorous hobo and frontman of the Hothouse Flowers. He is a legend in his own right. This is something. This is Liam O'Wanley with his take on the Scottish ballad Lord Randall. Buckle up and enjoy.
kanalı bere nive ve finche brutara o to metin ya fo mohri seligi
Thank you, Liam O'Manley. He opened up for us last year at the evening with the London Irish Centre Folk Night we did, and just set the tone for the evening. What a voice and what a presence. Speaking of which, the great man's back. Do we have him finally? Is he? What is he?
I'm here.
My parents' Wi-Fi. Richard, you're there.
I'm here, Dermot.
How's it going, buddy? You're in Wexford, yeah?
I am in Wexford. Just arrived, I'll be honest, 2 days ago. A bit of isolation.
for 14 days and then head up to Virginia Park Lodge in County Cavan.
So do you have a house where you are now?
Yeah, I have a cottage here for years. I've been coming on holidays down here for around 18 years. And, you know, I'm in Dunbrody House at the moment in their bar. They've set up the Wi-Fi. As a matter of fact, Kevin Dundon has given me his personal phone to talk to you tonight because my little pad just went blink.
Yeah.
So no, it's great to be here. Liam O'Malley, the last time he played in Bentley's, we had a little secret gig downstairs. And I put so much champagne on his table at the end of the night, 2 cases in a big trough. And his eyes popped out of his head. And somebody told me when I went home at 4:30 that he just decided to drink it all with his friends and then just head to Heathrow at 7:30 in the morning. He is amazing. I love him.
You are one of the great hosts of all time. Never mind London. I mean, you could put you in Hollywood in the 20s and you'd hold your own, my friend. You are a terrific restaurateur.
Thank you very much.
And listen, well done on all the homeless breakfast. I know you've been doing out of Bentley's, and so I know I don't want to be too schmaltzy, but I know giving back to you has always been a big thing. How's that gone with the homeless breakfast?
Amazing. I'll be on. You know what? I asked. I got involved with a few charities, Dermot. We got involved with St. Patrick's in Soho Square.
Yeah, great.
And basically, I realised what was going on there, and they were very happy with instant porridge, and they really didn't want to upgrade what they were doing. They were very honest to me. It says, Richard, thank you, but we're very happy with what we're doing. And we contacted the church across St. Giles across the road from Bentley's, and the pastor there put us on to under One Sky, and we met Mikel and we had a great chat. And he's very honest, and he's a brilliant man. He really is a brilliant man. And every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we bring in all our teams. We get everything sponsored because we have to hustle around for lots of things. You know, it's around 120 to 150 every day, and fresh juice, bottle of water, lovely warm freshly baked sandwich from the bakery with a lovely filling. I mean, it's quite funny. You go into Waitrose and you have 6 eggs from Clarence Court, and it costs £3. I mean, Clarence Court supplies me all the eggs for the homeless. I think, honestly, it's almost like the French Revolution. You know what I mean? Really, it's everyone is entitled to the best, and they're getting the best. And not only that, not only when this goddamn situation is over, we're going to continue this, Dermot. You know what I mean? It really is, because there's enough people on the street that we call the new homeless that are not capable of even looking after themselves. And standing in Camden Square at 7 o'clock a couple of months ago, it summed it all up for me about professional people that might have worked in hospitality, that maybe just started jobs, couldn't be furloughed, and just ended up in the street. Maybe landlords threw them out, whatever. And it really is, you know, I don't know, is it just, you know, there's been great, everyone has done some great deeds, but I want to carry this on. I've asked the Irish Youth Foundation to get involved, to be honest with you, which, you know, the Irish Youth Foundation, we got them involved in Camden Irish Centre. They put a nice scheme in there for under 30, some cash your way, and being a trustee of that charity for a long time, and now a patron with Dara, you know, they have a lot of money. We have plenty of money in account. It's time we start spreading it around.
And listen, Rich, thanks for everything you're doing for the Irish Centre. You know, you do some great work for us, and you know, you always look after us, and it's always really genuinely appreciated. And just a word for the catering industry as well before I let you go. I mean, because it's on its knees, and I guess you guys, you know, when it is safe, need to get back to work as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you know, our industry is broken. There's no question about it. It's broken, and it's not about a reopening. It's a new opening, because it will change completely. But you know what? It's the phoenix. We will all arise from the ashes. We will become better. We'll become wiser. But you know, our sense of giving and our sense of generosity must never change, and that's what makes the Irish in London, I think, so special. You know, we are one, and when anyone asks you to do something, we all do it together.
You're a great man, Rich. Thanks a million. Have a great time.
Dermot, thank you very much. Take care.
Like I said, those Bentley's vouchers, if you do want to go back when Richard reopens, you know, this isn't charity. It's just Richard keeping the restaurant open and being able to pay his staff in lieu of when he reopens. Or new opens, as he said there, Bentley's do a voucher, and it is I mean, what a place. I mean, the history just imbued in the place. Where are we going now? Are we back with you, Jonathan?
Yes.
Oh, it's great to see you.
Yeah, we're nearing our target, but obviously things have slowed down a tiny bit, and you know, I have to flag that. I did give the Niall Horan sketch a push. This is one of our auction items that I thought was severely undervalued. It was at 200, it's now at 700. The meet and greet with Ed Sheeran and the signed guitar, 6.5 grand is the top bid there. Personalized video from Dairy Girls is just over $1,000. But overall, we're at 61,000. Look, you know who you are. If you're watching this tonight, you know what you can give. And what I'd say to you is, we could all just throw in a tenner, but if you can give a little bit more, do so. There's certain people, the die-hard people, are still on board right now, waiting for Imelda to come on the stage. Imelda's given of her time, you've given of your time. I just urge people to give what they can, and because honestly, Dermot, if you read these comments that are coming in underneath the videos, just unbelievable when you see the impact the centre's had. And one of the things that Aisling mentioned earlier, just about the loneliness, one of the things that's quite hard to articulate, but something that the London Irish Centre addresses specifically for people who aren't in contact with people. And the only way that the London Irish Centre can continue to do that is by you right now giving a tenner and doing what you can in these last moments of what we're doing here tonight. It's been great though. People have been so generous.
Yeah, terrific. And I know it's a tough time for people as well. So 61's terrific. Like you said, and the raffle's open like beyond tonight, isn't it?
It is. You can keep entering the Niall Horan meet and greet raffle, where Niall will fly you from wherever you are in the world, you and a friend, put you up in luxury accommodation. June 14th, and the lucky winner will be announced on Monday 15th.
Yeah. All right, great. Thanks a lot, buddy.
No worries. Talk to you.
Time for some more performances now. First up is Lisa Dewan, who just imbues Beckett, and she's going to be reading a Beckett poem, and then a change of gear. Kinvara is the performance, and Kieran Cannon, who's Irish Minister for the Diaspora and International Development, has been over many times and seen the work we do at the centre. So let's have a couple of performances now from those two guys.
Hi, Dermot, and hello to everybody watching this at home. It's a great privilege to be part of this gathering of artists, extraordinary artists, and also to be involved with the London Irish Centre, who I've been a big fan of ever since I moved to London nearly 20 years ago, but particularly in the last few years with Gary and his team. The work they've done has just been amazing. And it's a very, very important charity that do a lot of great work for vulnerable people in London. And I would urge you, if you can, to please dig deep and give generously. I thought tonight I might read a poem by Samuel Beckett. This is called Cascando, and it's my favourite poem of his. Why not? Merely the despaired of, occasion of, word shed. Is it not better abort than be barren? The hours after you are gone are so leaden. They will always start dragging too soon, the grapples clawing blindly the bed of want, bringing up the bones, the old loves, sockets filled once with eyes like yours. Oh, always. Is it better too soon than never? The black want splashing their faces, saying again, 9 days never floated the loved, nor 9 months, nor 9 lives. Saying again, if you do not teach me, I shall not learn. Saying again, there is a last, even of last times of begging, last times of loving, of knowing, not knowing, pretending, a last even of last times of saying, if you do not love me, I shall not be loved. If I do not love you, I shall not love. the churn of stale words in the heart again. Love, love, love. Thud of the old plunger, pestiling the unalterable way of words. Terrified again of not loving, of loving and not you, of being loved but not by you, of knowing, not knowing, pretending. Pretending. I and all the others that will love you, if they love you. Unless they love you. Good night.
Hello Dermot, good evening everyone, agus G Guib Galir. It's a privilege to be part of the London Irish Charity Night In, a wonderful celebration of Irish culture and indeed the spirit of the Mehel, that coming together to support one another when we all need help. The London Irish Centre embodies that spirit. The team there does superb work in nurturing and enriching the Irish community across that great city. And we have witnessed the real value of that work in recent times, with a particular focus on caring for the most vulnerable members of that community. All of the funds raised tonight will support the work of the London Irish Centre, so please donate if you can. I want to thank all of our artists who are sharing their talent in support of the London Irish Centre tonight. My contribution centres around the village of Kinvara in the Burren Lowlands on the Wild Atlantic Way. It's a very special place, and I've tried to capture that in a piece of music that came to me on the piano one night, simply called Kinvara. There are also some words in there that I co-wrote with the Galway East post Johnny B. Broderick, and finally some wonderful images from the Kinvara-based photographer Marcus Vetter. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the evening, and thanks for being part of a very special event. Go raibh míle maith agaibh go léir.
Driving down by Dungura on a warm September morning, you're beside me, smiling, maybe at the wonder of it all. Burren Mountains tumbling headlong into the sea, wave after wave of molten rock meeting salty water. I'm falling for you. We park where fishermen's boats bring stories from western seas centuries old, stories of love and loss made shiny and new again in telling the story of us. A song crackles across the evening radio, and turning it up, we dance upon the timeless tide it throat, tripping over the ancient blue in a moment made eternal. In the dying light, we stumble over rocks and boulders to a tiny sandy kingdom and convince ourselves that it's ours and ours alone. And I write I love you inside the biggest heart with a yard of driftwood as a pencil. I have fallen for you as sure as the sun falls each day, gleaming glorious light across a Galway sky.
Bloody hell, that was epic. Thank you. That's deep, man. Kieran Cannon with Kinvara, it's beautiful. The Irish Minister for the Diaspora and International Development there. It's a soundscape accompanied by some stunning pictures of Irish landscape. Beautiful, isn't it? From photographer Marcus Verota. And before that, the legendary Lisa Dwan there with her ode to Beckett and the poem Cascando. Owen, we come to you for the last time tonight, my friend. Thank you for everything you've been doing.
Dermot, what an absolute pleasure. Shibuglan Canam, Slánna Ágála, Baile Á Clia, Torara Gochdine. It's almost time to say goodbye from Dublin. We do have one more treat for you. Well, I have one more treat to introduce for you. Obviously, I'm going to stick around after just as a fan and watch Imelda. But right now, we're going to give you a dose of spoken word poetry. This guy is a linguistic acrobat. He's kind of part of this new wave of spoken word poets who's risen to the fore the last while. And he manages to catch and encapsulate Ireland in all its kind of glories and triumph and its shortcomings and follies as well. His name is Stephen James Smith. You might have seen him when the Late Late Show went on the road to London in 2018. This is a blinding rendition of This Community. Slán, Dermot.
This is the community that is Irish and English, which can be hard to distinguish. Just don't call me British. This is the community where our Gaels took the scales for years in these shores as countless scores invaded someone for what? For to sell scores, for to take the shilling, for to send it home over the phone. This is the community with a shared ancestry, admission for someone's blasphemy, time we embrace our mixed tapestry. This is the community that has sinned, but is not simian-like. We're made for the banter at the heart of the matter, have a black humour and history thanks to the Rain Matter. No blacks, no dogs, no blacks, no dogs. This community slept in digs, while it dug tunnels through the London clay for half a crown, while it frowned on the Queen. I mean, she shook Martin's hand after Mountbatten, while bombs flattened stations, homes and horses. This is the community shouting at race courses, while reinforcing stereotypes by trading on the notion and squeezing the pipes. This is the community, green and orange, which tries to arrange after-hour sessions in Archway, County Kilburn, Cricklewood and Camden Town. This is the community that hit rock bottom in Soho, copped the field where nobody would know, felt the community and left the closet. This is the community impacted by Brexit, where borders and broader issues are at stake. This is the community that can't go without barriers or lines. Go away with your PG tips and don't get us started on the crisps, and don't make us say potato either after Trevelyan being a tea leafer or 33 1/3 all right governor. This is the community that's on the dog and bone to the old China back home. This is the community whose women travelled alone, gave fake addresses, acquiesced until recently. This community has a Commonwealth, while stealth F-35s keep some empire alive. This is the community taking stock in the city, investing in future relationships. This community knows loose lips sink ships as the HMS Belfast moors in the Thames, as unknown names join the diaspora. They disappeared. This community has been feared. We've been to hell. So we sang Danny Boy and prayed for those in Grenfell and remember 7/7. And as time ticks in Big Ben, we look to the future with hope, embracing cultural inheritance. This community has given more than we've taken. We're more than plastic paddies, crying games, gypsy weddings and coffin ships. We scored in the Premiership, got a Grand Slam in Twickenham. This community doesn't want an MBE, CBE, OBE or knighthood. We just want to live and love on this land with you. We just want to recognise that others the world over do too. As some build walls, we hope for bridges and cheap Ryanair flights, as some go missing even under bright lights. And oh, I'm missing you, I give all for the price of a flight. And oh, I'm missing you under Piccadilly's neon. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of the night, and please donate to the London Irish Centre. Take care of yourselves and each other. Gurmagweave.
Good stuff. Let me tell you, my cat Socks is a huge fan, right, Soxy? Off you go. Stephen, he did that. I mean, like I said earlier, we saw him perform that at the Royal Albert Hall. Like, stood next to the big iconic organ there, and he just took a deep breath and went for it. And then he did this a rendition for us last year at the Folk Night, and terrific young poet. It's great to have him with us tonight. Charlotte, that was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's never any less powerful. That's the amazing thing about that poem. And I'm proud to wear the same T-shirt as him as well. It's just, it just hits you in the feels, right? And I hope that that's what's produced this outpouring of generosity that we've seen tonight, Dermot. Here we are right now, online text, private auction, all the rest, to come together to hit 65k, nearly 66 right now as I look at it change. Big shouts to everyone at the London Irish Centre who, put together all of this tech that's made this evening work. But the meet and greet with Ed Sheeran and a signed guitar. Let's be clear, these signed guitars sometimes go for 25 grand, is now at 6,500.
People aren't drunk enough.
No, people aren't drunk enough. Yeah, and I can't pressurize them and embarrass them in front of their friends. But that auction will continue. So you can bid on these things after this. The auction will go on. And the Angela Scanlon one, which is, redo your house with the help of her Your Home Made Perfect show, is still there. That's going for 2,200 at the moment. But massive shout out to everyone who's commented and got in touch and spread the word. Like, that's the thing. We can continue to spread the word and raise more after this. If people watching now retweet and share the auction, the raffle, Niall Horan meet and greet, this can continue. It doesn't stop here. The need doesn't go away when this evening ends. So please continue to do it. There's still value to be had in that auction, though.
Thanks a million, Jared.
It's
been
been
great
a pleasure
tonight as well. Thanks a lot for all your help as well, Jared. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you, Dermot.
See you soon. God bless.
See you soon.
So we come to the finale. Let's cross right now to say hello to Imelda May. Is she there? Is she there, Imelda?
Am I there?
There you are. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very nice to see you, Imelda. How's life?
Good, really good. Can't complain.
Good. Listen,
I've enjoyed this tonight.
Sorry, hum?
I've enjoyed this tonight.
Have you watched it?
The whole thing.
Oh, thanks. Has it been?
I've loved it. Well done, everybody. Well done, you, and well done, all the team. It's not an easy feat. Doing it all.
Thanks for everyone doing all the tech as well, because I just genuinely thought it'd just be me with a laptop and a phone or something, and then you realise it's so much more than that. So you're going to do a couple of songs for us, but first you're going to start with your poem, which I found on, or I follow you on Instagram, and we've known each other a long time now, and it sideswiped me. I've got to be honest, it came from nowhere, and I just think it just perfectly encapsulates and sums up how I guess the state we are in at the moment, and what it's like to be Irish watching this, and like you said, there's no excuses, and it was honestly, it's a brilliant poem. It destroyed me.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad it destroyed you. No, I'm glad it got to you. I mean, I wrote it only the other day. I was reeling, I was emotional and furious, and with a few things that I read and seen, and I wrote it in the middle of the night, and I read it, and it's had a massive reaction. And I've had a lot of people get in touch saying that it's changed their stance on how they see things, which that's the main thing. And by the way, I loved tonight the amount of poetry and spoken word as well as music. It's a beautiful part of our culture. It is lovely. And by the way, if anybody wants to follow online, I've just followed your top of Instagram. Black Irish is a wonderful Instagram. I think they're on Facebook as well to follow. And it tells you stories on each person and their story of how they got to Ireland, or their parents got to Ireland, their grandparents.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we can definitely.
Really beautiful community.
Yeah, we should definitely retweet that and make sure that gets out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, over to you. Let's have some poetry and then a couple of tunes to finish the evening.
Okay. All right. Here we go. You don't get to be racist in Irish. You don't get to be proud of your heritage, plights and fights for freedom while kneeling on the neck of another. You're not entitled to sing songs of heroes and martyrs, mothers and fathers who cried as they starved in the famine, or poets and artists, brave-hearted, soft-spoken, lined up in a yard, blindfolded and bound, while waiting for Godot and point blank to sound. We emigrated. We took refuge, and so cannot refuse when it's our time to return the favour. Land stolen, spirits broken, bodies crushed and swollen, unholy tokens of Christ nailed to a tree. You hang round your neck like a noose of the free. Our colour pasty, our accents thick, hands like shovels for mortar and bricklaying every foundation of the streets you now stand upon. Our suffering seeps from every stone your opportunities arise from. Outstanding on the shoulders of your forefathers and foremothers who bore your mother's mother. Our music is for the righteous. Our joys are earned and well deserved, and so serve to remind us more blacks, more dogs, more Irish. Still labelled leprechauns, mix, paddies, louts. We're shouting to tell you our land, our laws are progressively out there. We're in a chrysalis state of emerging into a new and more beautiful era, 40 shades better. Unanimous in our rainbow vote, we found our stereotypical pot of gold, and my God, it's good. So join us, because you don't get to be racist and Irish. There you go. You want a song? Okay. Can everybody see you as well, Dara, or can they only see me?
You.
Oh, I can see you.
Just you. That was wonderful.
McNamee.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you, mate? You're right.
Hey.
People, they can't see him. They can only see us.
All right, I'm waving too. Hello, everyone. Hello, dramas.
Don't you? I hope you've all been having a lovely night. Do you want to introduce this song now?
Well, this is a song that we're doing together. I was writing it for a bit, and Imelda was like, you need to change it. I was sort of going to throw it away, and Imelda said, no, you need to keep it. So we worked on it together, and now it's this. And
it's called Don't Let Me Stand on My Own. I think it's quite fitting for this lovely community of ours and for the London Irish Centre, who don't let anyone stand on their own, shoulder to shoulder all the way. So here we go. You ready? No, I don't believe I'm elite. Troubles push me to fall, nor that you could have saved me from God or anything.
I won't say you can't help it, you're crazy. An excuse I won't let you have. but your mother was calling me lately, says that you're back. Don't let me stand on my own. Don't let me stand on my own.
I'm so sorry I'm lost in you. I'm no demon, I'm no psychopath, but I'm sorry for you that you ever saw.
I'm here whenever you need me, but I've troubles all of my own, and I need you to hold me. I'm fearful of our unknown. Don't let me stand on my own. Don't let me stand on my own. Can you hear what I'm screaming inside? Can you read between all the signs? I'm calling for you and I need to get through, so stay with me just for tonight. Don't let me stand on my own. Don't let me stand on my own. On my own. On my own. There we go.
Yay!
Should we do the last one?
Let's do the last one. We've been asked to do one more, and this is one you'll know well. Join in at home, and please do raise your glasses every time, not your glasses on your face. I want to thank Gary for always including everybody. And I was saying to Niall earlier that when I moved to London first, I wasn't aware of the community, and I lived only down the road, and I don't think I was aware I even needed it. I was homesick and I was trying to make a new life and trying to crack on, and only in the last while I've gotten to know the London Irish Centre, and I've discovered a community within it only in the last few years, through Gary inviting me to things. And most of the artists on here, we've become a community in being involved, and we see each other at all these charity events, and we meet people who've been on talking about how they volunteer and how they're helped. And I've somehow been brought into this gorgeous London Irish Centre community, and I can't thank Gary enough for pulling me in, and I can't thank everybody in the centre. From me personally, I don't know what I'd do without it, so thank you. Well done to everyone for donating. Of all the money that I've spent it in good company, and of all the harm that I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for one know it, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. And if I had money and love to spend, and leisure time to sit a while,
There is a fair maid in this town, and she surely has my heart beguiled. Her rosy cheeks, her ruby lips, I own she has my heart enthralled. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be to you all.
of all the comrades that I've had, they're sorry for my going away. And of all the sweethearts that I've loved, they wish me one more night to stay. But since it falls into my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night.
Oh, what a way to finish. Imelda and Niall, thank you so, so much. Absolutely beautiful, guys. Thanks a million. Mwah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow. That's pretty much it, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in, for getting involved, for learning about this place. I'm sure some of you would probably not have known about the London Irish Centre before tonight. And I sincerely hope you get on board and help. The donations are still open. We're up to about 70 grand. I know, I'm sure, 74. Thank you. Thank you. Whoever just gave us 4 grand. Wow, I love you. And the raffle and the auction are open for like another couple of days. So LondonIrishDonate.org. Thanks to Jonathan, to Owen, and I know Owen's going to be pushing it tomorrow on his radio show. Imelda, thank you so much again. It's great stuff. We have 2 more songs. Yeah, I know we got 2 more songs. Just a couple of thanks that I've just got here. We're going to leave you with like almost an after show. So we have the Blizzards playing, and the brilliant Gavin James, who came over last year to the centre and did a great set for us as well. But I just have to thank the Irish government, all our artists and friends, the Camden Council, the Lock-In Conference Services, and you at home, most importantly, for watching and donating to play us out tonight. We are, sorry, what is that? We're at 110. We're at 110?
Yes.
Someone has just donated 40 grand. What? Oh, man. So, drinking night, but it is now. Yay!
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. Whoever you are, thank you so, so much. We'll play out now with the Blizzards and Gavin James. But thank you from the bottom of our hearts at London Irish Centre for joining us this evening. And if you don't know anything about the centre, do get involved in it on Twitter or Instagram, and just have a look at the work they do, and anything you can do would be more than gratefully appreciated. But thanks for your company tonight. Go home, Oregon, and sleep well. Take care.
spark turn into a flame. So if you want to get closer, I'll tell you one good thing. Why try to fuel on the fire when your dreams keep burning as the flames get high? The ship you sailed has ran aground. It's going down, but we'll keep you afloat. There is a soul in the streets of the city, but it moves so fast that it makes us all busy. And the right words spoken at the perfect time. It's like the strongest push when you're facing all the hill to climb. So when this day is over and you're tired of dodging the flames, if you want to get closer, I'll tell you one good thing. You've got the night to recover. Don't let a spark turn into a flame. So if you want to get closer, I'll tell you one good thing. I'll tell you one good thing. I'll tell you one good thing. Sha-la-la-la, 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 So when this day is over and you're tired of dodging the flames, so if you want to get closer, I'll tell you one good thing. You've got the night to recover. Don't let a spark turn into a flame. So if you want to get closer, I'll tell you one good thing.
This next song is called Boxes. This is a new song. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you very much for listening, and stay safe out there and have a great one. I'm super sweaty. Gonna go get some towels. 1 sec. Also, if you hear drilling next door, my next door neighbours are gutting their whole house, so as long as it's in key, it's grand. I think they're drilling in G, so it's fine. It doesn't matter. So this song is it's actually in D sharp, so I'll get them to drill in D. Can you get them to drill in D sharp? Yeah, it's fine, right? Drill in D sharp, guys. Good job. This song's called Boxes. Here we go. I went to the wrong school, wearing the wrong shoes. It told me that I should sit down and just bite my tongue. 'Cause if you're lucky, you get to university, say 3 Hail Marys, and everything bad will be gone. But I'm so tired of standing still, and I'm not buying what you're trying to sell. So don't wake me up if you're only gonna tell me to give it up. Then say everything I do is never enough. 'Cause you're lying through your teeth. We don't fit into your boxes. We're all different underneath. Don't wake me up. When I got my first guitar, my father told me, son, 4 chords is all you need to show people just who you are. So I played to strangers down by the back streets, and every time they caught me dreaming, I'd say, don't wake me up if you're only gonna tell me to give it up. Then say everything I do is never enough. 'Cause you're lying through your teeth. We don't fit into your boxes. We're all all different underneath. Don't wake me up. Well, don't wake me up. But I'm so tired of standing still, and I'm not buying what you're trying to sell. So don't wake me up. No, don't wake me up. If you're only gonna tell me to give it up, then say everything I do is never enough. 'Cause you're lying through your teeth. We don't fit into your boxes. We're all different underneath. Don't wake me up. Well, don't wake me up. Don't wake me up. Don't wake me up. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great one. I've been Gavin. Thank you very much.